All right, here we are. And I'm going to have a coughing fit. That's not great to have. Come on. It's not the Rona. It's very unlikely. I just haven't been around here. I've been at the supermarket, but not that long and had a mask on, so bleh. Megaleech, hello. How are you this year? I think my beard I'm so bad at trimming it. Maybe you need to trim it again. I'm just very bad at it. I'm going to have a drink and think about it. A non-alcoholic or soft drink. I think I need to fix that door so it doesn't make knocking noises the whole time, because that gets distracting. We've got doors open to let cool air in, because today has been much more pleasant than had been forecast. But still, we want to get fresh air in here to make life tolerable. And so with breezes coming through, or sliding door over there knocks about and keeps making a noise like someone's knocking at the door, which it gets super fucking annoying. Sounds like my magpie friend's out there somewhere. It's not magpie night, it's raven night. Where is she? She's not immediately outside. Sometimes she sits right outside. And look, I was going to say, and says hello. She's not saying hello. She is saying, you should be feeding me. Which reminds me, I just thought of something. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to go around here and check something. Yeah, okay. What is that? That's disgusting, is what that is. Okay, cool. Then I'm just going to. I'm just going to try and see if my magpie friend will come over. Okay. Did I say hi, honey? I don't remember. So hello. Oh, chillin'. I should be okay tonight. Because despite staying up till 2 a.m., I did get a proper amount of sleep. Which, meant I slept until 9:30. So I got a decent amount of sleep. Was out and about with Abigail today, getting a care package for Nettie, basically, who is isolating at home with the Rona. Okay, I am going to go and fix this door because it's rattling and knocking. And There we go. Hopefully that's better. Oh. Yes, like I said hello to you. It's all that counts. Mrs. Angry's next door watching Ash Barty play in the tennis. So you might hear crowd cheer noises in the background because the crowd's very loud. Of course, that's all down to the volume of the TV, of course, but it's just the a very vocal crowd at the Australian Open final tonight. So I suppose the men's is tomorrow. Which won't get ratings as high as the women's tonight, with Ash Barty in there potentially winning her first Australian Open. Be a big fucking party tonight. Like they were saying on the TV, there were these legends of Australian sport were there, like Ian Thorpe and Kathy Freeman and a couple of other like a really big name people. I think actually Rod Laver, whom the arena, Rod Laver Arena is named after. I think he's there. I just imagine Ash Barty wins. The fucking party. The party would go right off. She's the overwhelming favourite to win for a lot of reasons. Not least she's world number one and has been for 2 years. But she's, the overwhelming favourite to win. And my God, she wins. They are just going to go hella off. So, yeah. Not sure that, she probably doesn't have to play again for a while. Did professional outfits get absolutely fucking scuttered drunk? Hello, Celtic King, and hello, Abigail. How are you feeling? I was just telling everyone we were hanging out today, doing a care package for Nettie. When I left Abigail, I just kind of run out of spoons for physical activity. So hopefully you've been able to take it easy in your domicile in the intervening hours. I can still hear my magpie friend, but I can't see her. Hello, Chris. I put a little thing out that she might like to eat, which would involve her coming right to the door. Because if she shows up, I'll show you. Oh, okay. Dr. Abigail is living science tonight. In Licked the Science. That's that's a joke on a number of levels. It was originally like a Tumblr meme type thing. We're talking about how paleontologists, when they're digging up things like, is that a stone or a fossil? They'll often lick it because like the bone thing in a fossil is porous and a rock isn't, and it feels different on your tongue. And so then there was a whole bunch of things, different people from different science disciplines saying, can you lick the science? And they would talk about their field of science and whether licking the science is a good idea. The botany part of the science, Dr. Abigail's doing, very lickable. Not all botany is lickable. Some botany you definitely shouldn't lick. Celtic, Mrs. Angry would declare that off bounds. I know the lovely flowing locks might be tempting. Mrs. Angry would say they're off bounds. So sorry. So I'm starting with a non-alcoholic beverage, but I have some things to taste, and I want to do some taste comparisons tonight because I got a couple of new bottles. Celtic, guess what's in your wish? Fair enough. So, yes, I'm going to do brandy comparison and gin comparison tonight because those are things I bought today. Very, very cheap bottle of what I think is decent brandy, and I want to compare it to some more expensive ones. Hi, Lee. I didn't already say hello. And a good quality Australian gin that was on a pretty good special, like a third off. Just going to compare it to my other Australian gins, because I only have Australian gins because Kirsten's made me, well, okay. Kirsten didn't make me parochial. Kirsten encouraged me to explore the products of Australian distillers. And Australian gins are so far ahead of particularly European gins, but just gins from the rest of the world. Like, why would I spend money on something from somewhere else that just goes to a big conglomerate and is nowhere near as good? Like, yes, the Australian gins cost more than, you know, like a Gordon's or a Tanqueray, but it's just so much better. Lee, that is a good point. Very young when you were born. There's Australians of a certain age. Pretty sure I'm not the only one, but it might be a comparatively small number of people here. Australians of a certain age will be familiar with the band Red Gum. They had a couple hits in the 80s and maybe early 90s. They had a sort of folky political protest rock thing going on. Their biggest commercial success was about Vietnam veterans called I Was Only 19. But they had a few others. And I saw them live once. They were very entertaining live. And they had this one. It was a cross between an a cappella song and just like slam poetry. And it was about Bob Hawke basically acting like his ascendancy to the throne of Prime Minister was preordained by higher powers, which is kind of how Hawke behaved, quite honestly. And the opening lines of the song was, "When I was born at a very young age, the Bible opened at a crucial page." And hello, Invisible Chicken. Lovely to see you. Heidi, I think the tennis will be over soon. It's probably going to be a pretty quick match. That American is really up against it. If she even holds a set against Ash Barty, she will have done really well. It's not impossible if she wins. It's just really unlikely. And it's also unlikely that the match lasts for all that long. The Channel 9 is fucking aggressively shoving ads between games because they're like, yeah, this is not going to go long. Everyone's going to be watching. We need to fucking jam, even if it's a micro ad, but between games, because there's like, 30 seconds between games. We can jam a 30-second ad in there or several shorter ads. Yes, Lee. No one apart from fucking idiots misses Djokovic. He's fucking piece of shit. The world. Things happen fast, don't they? And they just keep happening at a really quite alarming rate, honestly. I wish to speak to the manager, actually. I wish to speak to the manager of reality and lodge a complaint. Too many things are happening too close together. Please slow down the number of things that are happening and space them out a bit more. Because this whole thing that's been going on for the last 5-10 years, way too many things happening. Way too many things happen. They happen too fast. They happen too soon after each other. It's just not reasonable. So if the manager of existence could do something about it, much appreciated. And if you don't, I will be writing a stern letter to head office. Expressing my displeasure, which is not insubstantial. So be warned, whoever's in charge, because I really don't feel like they're doing their job. Whoever's in charge is not doing a great job. Oh, sure, it's fine. No, I'm just checking to make sure I don't have any messages from AIDSy. And I don't. And I don't. Yeah. No, just okay. No massages. I know, Invisible Chicken. I want whoever is in charge to take some responsibility. Dr. Abigail, causality is doing your head in. Yes. It's like, yeah, one causes, it's too much. It's too much. Lee, free will's an illusion. I don't know, actually. Better philosophers than me have argued both sides of the coin. At the very least, any concept of free will is incredibly limited because at any given moment, you have an extremely limited array of options. And the limited options that are available to you at any given moment are dictated by things that have already happened. So and that's the thing. Well, I'm glad you're okay-ish, Invisible Chicken. Honestly, in this day and age, that's about all we can ask for. I don't know if you notice how often I fidget like that. It's like my beard's curling to the side, so I'm just doing that so I feel like it's a bit straighter. Wonder how long it can, because this is, I've probably grown it twice as long as this, which again is not that long. Wonder how big I could grow the beard before Mrs. Angry objected, because she likes it. But I don't know if it could get so big she'd go, okay, what the fuck is happening? And she's actually said prior to us dating, she wouldn't have imagined she'd date someone with a beard. Like prior to meeting me, if someone had said to her, would she date someone with a beard? She said she would, no. So you never know what you're going to do. Lee, someone tried to blame a Kennedy curse on you getting hit by the car. Oh, yes. Yeah, there's a low moment where you actually chose it. But then again, if someone wanted to stretch it, they'd go, your mental state at the moment could be called the Kennedy curse. But yes. Okay, so Abigail has martinis. I have some gin. Okay, so I'm impressed by your scientific ability to make potent martinis, Dr. Abigail. Kudos to you on the science. Megaleech, did I choose the thing for reasons or random reasons? It was determined by reasons. If it's random, it's random. Where's free will? Yeah. God, now we started talking about it. Okay. I'll see if I can find a good source. I'll just do I was going to do a search online, and I started with does, and it auto completed to does Australia exist? No, it's does free will exist? Okay. Top result, psychology. Psychology Today, does free will exist? One on ABC Radio National. Does free will actually exist? It's complicated. Popular Science. Okay. Let's have a quick look. The top result is Psychology Today. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon. Professor Friedman's enjoying the Southern California weather on Professor Domino's patio. Domino, will it be Coke or Pepsi, Dr. Friedman? Friedman, that's an easy choice, Dr. Domino. Domino, is it? I guess the neurons in your brain have already decided for you. There isn't much neuroscience research demonstrating that humans lack free will. Yes, it's a lot of junk. Really? Are you aware? Classic experiment carried out by Benjamin Libet and colleagues. So, Libet and colleagues designed an experiment to test whether human subjects have free will. This is the thing, I don't think you can test it. But anyway, what did these guys do? Subjects were instructed to press a button whenever the urge took them. A rotating dial served as a clock so that each subject could note the exact time when he or she became conscious of the urge to push a button. When the subject participated in the experiment, EEG electrodes attached to the scalp measured electrical brain activity indicating preparation for movement preceding the subject's conscious decision to press the button by more than a third of a second. And so do the results show the subject had a choice, or were the decisions predetermined by electrical brain activity? Two problems with the experiment. As the philosopher Alexander Bathiers pointed out, subjects were told to passively wait for an urge to press a button. Naturally, a subconscious urge might first manifest as electrical brain activity before rising to the level of conscious awareness. Secondly, as the philosopher and cognitive scientist Daniel Dannis put out, between making the choice and noting the time in the clock dial, there's a shift from inwardly focused to outwardly focused attention, because it takes time to reallocate neural resources for attention. The 350 millisecond gap can easily be explained. Have you considered the works of John Dillon Haynes and colleagues? A group of researchers showed metabolic brain activity measured in a functional MRI can predict which hand a subject will use to press a button several seconds before the choice is made. That's an exaggeration. Prediction accuracy of the study was only 60%, which is barely better than chance. Still, more often than not, choice was preordained by brain activity. I think those experiments sound like they're very bad determinations of cause and effect. But anyway. Yes, Abigail, notice a notice that's not worth noticing. Yes. For the sake of argument, suppose prediction was 100% accurate. What else would be determining the subject's choice other than brain activity? I sure hope my brain is making my decisions. Yes, this is what I was thinking. They're going, oh, brain activity. Shit, that's your brain activity. If you believe in free will, you believe nothing outside of yourself is determining your decisions. Science shows your brains. Oh, that's fucking dumb. That is fucking dumb. Saying your brain's not you, that's fucking dumb. Okay, I've decided I don't like that article. I think it's dumb. What's on PopSci, Popular Science? Does free will actually exist? It's complicated. Are you reading this because you chose to or because you were destined to? Yeah, okay. Wasn't until a pivotal 1983 study anyone had hard evidence in either direction. Researchers asked participants to decide to remove a finger prior to raising it, record their brain activity with EEG. Before subjects chose to move, the grey matter lit up. See, that's ridiculous. They're going like, oh, your brain's doing stuff before you. It's my fucking brain. My brain is, these experiments are fucking shit. That's, man, I fucking hate these people. Abigail, do I know what I think? Am I destined to know what you think, or are you free to either tell me or not tell me? Migolich, think current consensus is consciousness is an emergent property of brain. But this is not consciousness. This is free will. Linked but different. But I'm just finding on principle, I think these experiments are fucking stupid. I think those experiments are fucking stupid. It's like, I'm going to determine if free will exists. Wait, there was brain activity before, because my brain directs my actions. That's not free. That's fucking ridiculous. I'm really aggravated now. Abigail, I thought you might have been checking to see if I can read my thoughts. But I cannot. Wow, I did not expect to be aggravated by this, but I am. Okay, debate.org. Does free will exist? 43% say yes, 57% say no. Someone says it's healthier to believe because a study shows that disbelief in free will reduces motivation. But that's not an argument. That's not an argument for whether free will exists or not. It's like, if we knew beyond any doubt an asteroid was going to hit Earth in a week and wipe us out, we'd be in a bad mood. The fact that it might be better to not know the asteroid's going to hit Earth doesn't make it any less likely that the asteroid's going to hit Earth. God, that's a shit-ass argument. I'm just going to be spending the night getting angry at these articles about free will. Go, 57% of people can get fucked. Yeah. And Greg's listening on a tram. I hope you're having a good tram trip, mate. Is that another Psychology Today article? Five arguments for the existence of free will. See, arguments. Okay, I'm preemptively getting angry at this one too. By Evan Minton. Debate among. Oh, Jesus Christ! I hate this guy from the first fucking second. Oh, it's a Christian site. It's called Cross-Examined. Cross as in crucifix. My God. I want to punch this guy in the face from the first sentence. Free will is a topic debated among Christians and even some non-Christians. Shut the fuck up, you fucking tool. You fucking dead shit. Oh, I'm not even going to read that because I'm just going to find where this guy lives so I can go around and fucking punch him. I think what we do have, at the very least, is a perception of free will. We generally believe we are making our own choices. They're not predetermined. I know, Abigail. What? Non-Christians? It's just like, Nah, with the first sentence, dude, you just like earn a punch in the face. That's just ridiculous. That's you straight out of the gate are basically telling the world you're a fucking idiot. And like, no. And there's also things about manifests. All our brains can do is interpret what's around us. And it is trivially easy to trick our brain. And it's an unfortunate common occurrence for brains to function less than optimally, or at least function differently. Not all brains function the same way. In fact, it's possibly arguable every brain functions in a different way. But there's deviation from the norm, as the saying goes. But yeah, we're reliant on how our brain perceives things. And you can do experiments, and this is like, the laws of physics, etc., science and testing and whatnot. You can gather enough evidence to go, I can now confidently predict what's going to happen. I've established certain principles that don't fail. They work time after time after time. Therefore, knowing this, I can build engines, I can build computers, I can do all these things because certain things consistently happen. But our interpretation of what those things are subject to our brain. And this is why I've mentioned this before. Richard Dawkins is very good in his field of science, and more often than not, very, 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 very bad in any field in which he is not an expert. But he loves to act as if he is just as expert in these fields in which he is quite ignorant. And he gets really shirty about, is there an objective reality? And more sensible and less uptight physicists, biologists, etc., than him will say, look, we can gather evidence of an objective reality, but our experience of that is subjective. So what does it even mean to say there's an objective reality if every person experiences it differently? Every person's experience of an objective reality is different and subjective. And Richard Dawkins just gets super fucking grumpy and goes, yes, there is. It's an objective reality. I fucking hate philosophy. He's a dick, is what I'm saying. Megaleech, I don't know who Frank Turek is, but it appears that you do. Dr. Abigail, Christian apologists frame things as if Christians are a majority of people and normal beings. Yeah, and it is. It is. To me, that's evidence of either they're fucking morons or they're deliberately arguing bad faith, people who do that. Lee, it is quite funny. Christians who are arrogant are clearly breaching their own scripture that they think we're all supposed to follow. So that's always kind of ironic. Okay, Wikipedia is probably annoying too. There's a Wikipedia entry here for free will. The capacity of agents to choose between different possible courses of action unimpeded. Closely linked to the concept of moral responsibility, praise, guilt, sin, blah, blah, blah. Some conceive free will to be the capacity to make choices undetermined by past events. No, that's not free will. Anyone who argues that your current choice isn't influenced by past events is talking shit. And in fact, as I was saying before, the fact I'm here in this room, if free will is real, I can choose to do a whole bunch of things. There are 100 things I could do in this room. But there are billions of things I can't do because events and choices up to this point led to me being here and not somewhere else. So anyone who wants to say choices undetermined by past events, no. Well, it depends what they mean by undetermined. Controlled is probably going too long, but limited, and everything we do is limited and constrained by choices and events that happened before. That's just straightforward. So determinism suggests only one course of events is possible. That's okay. That's the interesting one. Determinism, which some people are really full on and saying there's only one possible course of events. And this is where I fall down. If we're talking about free will, this is the discussion I think we're happening. Like, it's the idea is literally whatever I do was always destined to happen. And I may have the illusion that I'm acting by free will, but this was predetermined by things that came happen, and I actually don't have any control over it. I'm not a determinist myself, but this is the real discussion. And that's what those other things that were making me angry, I didn't feel like that's what they were talking about. This weird thing with brain spark. What the fuck, honestly. Ancient Greek philosophy identified the issue, remains a major focus of philosophical debate. View conceives free will as incompatible with determinism is called incompatibilism, and encompasses both metaphysical libertarianism, to claim that determinism is false and thus free will is at least possible, and hard determinism, the claim that determinism is true and thus free will is not possible. Incompatibilism also encompasses hard incompatibilism, which holds not only determinism, but also indeterminism to be incompatible with free will, thus free will to be impossible, whatever the case may be regarding determinism. Cool. In contrast, compatibilists hold that free will is compatible with determinism. Some compatibilists even hold that determinism is necessary for free will, arguing the choice involves preference for one course of action over the other, requiring a sense of how choices will turn out. Compatibilists thus consider the debate between libertarians and hard determinists over free will versus determinism a false dilemma. Different compatibilists offer very different definitions of what free will means. And this is where it comes down to. How someone defines free will is going to change the entire discussion. So, Abigail, is one of the idiots who live in an objective reality object to the idea there isn't an objective reality. Yeah. Abigail, that is a good point. That guy's weird writing is very much about keeping people in the cult. Oh my God, you sent me a video of a guy debunking Frank Turek 1 hour. I had pretty much debunked him in 5 seconds. Namely, someone who would make the statement about free will is discussed by Christians, even some non-Christians. The guy's a fuckwit. He's put a line under it. Guy's a fuckwit. Like, his starting point for discussion is so fucking stupid. We're doing an intellectual motherfucking stream tonight. History of free will. According to Susan Bazabine, notion of incompatible free wills identified in the works of Alexander of Aphrodisias, 3rd century before the Common Era. What makes us have control over things is the fact we are casually undetermined in our decision and thus can freely decide between doing, choosing, or not doing, and not choosing them. The term free will was introduced by Christian philosophy. No, wait, what? Oh, no, that's the Common Era, not before the Common Era. Okay, yeah. It's traditionally meant, until the Enlightenment proposed its own meaning, lack of necessity in human will, so the will is free meant the will does not have to be such as it is. Western philosophy. Underlying questions whether we have control of our actions. If so, what sort of control and to what extent? These questions predate the early Greek Stoics, and some modern philosophers lament the lack of progress over the century. Excuse me, I just want to see something. Give me a sec. Oh, is that you? Oh, that door shut. Okay. She's being naughty. Oh, she's banging on the door. Maybe she'll come in here with me. Okay. So I could hear something banging on the screen door, and it was really putting me off, and it was Mimsy. Speaking of free will, I don't know why I said that. Okay. So Mega H covers more than free will covers. Oh man, my focus just went to shit. Oh wow. Okay, sorry, I've got to open the software for the camera. Advanced. Okay, what the fuck? Where are we? Okay. Although the focus came back, I'm going to go into manual. Was intensity, white balance, autofocus. There we go. I'm just going to play with the focus till there. It's white balance again. Ooh, look, I'm all blue. And then I'm all orange. And then I'll try and settle on something that I think looks normal. I don't know. Whatever. Lee, how to detect Tabernac? Frank Turek's one of those. Oh, Mega Leech. Honestly, no, thank you. He wants to cover his worldview. That one sentence made me go, I don't give a fuck about this guy's worldview. He's clearly a fucking moron. Dr. Abigail, I've heard people with testicles can taste things by dunking the testicles in the things. You need to test it for science. My latest thing is getting in a cold bath because the weather's so hot. And Jesus, when you dunk the testicles in there, that's a bit much. So musical 80 beta. 5 minutes ago, you had the choice to pause the stream, get ice cream, keep listening, and have no ice cream. So you missed 5 minutes and have ice cream. Honestly, that was a good choice. I back that choice. Excellent call, Mega Leech. If we could taste stuff through our balls, washing would be a whole thing. Okay, so washing with soap would be a bad thing. Dunking the testicles in hot sauce. Okay, I'm not dunking my testicles in hot sauce. I'm also not dipping it in soy sauce. But I'm not going to fall for the suggestion of dipping it in hot sauce. I am going to do my first taste comparison for the evening. So shot glasses ahoy. Right. 3 shot glasses. So 2, 3. I'm going to compare 3 gins. Which ones will I compare? I will compare, well, the new one for a start. The hemp gin and the dry gin. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Just for fun, doing a little gin comparison because I got a new gin today. All right. Thank you for science. Honestly, if I had science martinis, I'd probably be susceptible to the idea I should do that. So, oh god, the cicada's back. Okay, what sort of lid? Oh, it's got a little screw top. Oh. Crappy plastic screw top. All right. It's my new gin. Pour a bit of that in there. This is from a distillery that I've actually visited, although I got it at a Woolworths today. Bass and Flinders, which is out Mornington way. Just past... It's in Dramana, actually. On the Mornington Peninsula. This is their Australian New World gin, grape-based, batch distilled. So that's interesting, grape-based rather than a lot of gins are grain-based. That's really interesting. And this has got a bunch of exotic spices in it. This one, which I've been drinking, is Hemp Gin, made with Australian grain and limon. Yes, this is grain-based. Most gins are grain-based. Grape-based, that's interesting. Theoretically, that should taste quite different. And finally, okay, Science Martinis are potent. Archie Rose's Bone Dry Gin, which they declare is the best gin they've made. And just opening the bottle, the aroma from that one's so different. Okay, so the Bass and Flinders. What's that? Very, very light on the aroma. It's almost like flowers. The Hemp Gin. That's the lemon. That's the limon I can smell. And those fucking cicadas are being loud again. Fuckers. And the Archie Rose. Oh, so different. It's got the juniper front and center that the others don't really have. I mean, they have juniper in them because they're gin, but it's not as up front as that is. Lee, you haven't had for years Bushmills Black Bush, an Irish whiskey your Irish grandfather gave you when you were nice. Yes, Bushmills is one of the bigger brands of Irish whiskey. All right. Going to have a taste. That's pretty good. I mean, what does it taste like? Because they're trying to say that it's flavored with a lot of Eastern herbs. And speaking of brains being unreliable in the way they interpret things, when someone tells you ahead of time what something's going to taste like, it's very hard not to think it tastes like that. I mean, assuming they don't say anything stupid. Like someone could tell me ahead of time this is going to taste like fairy floss, and it's not going to taste like fairy floss. But because it's said about herbs and pepper, I'm going, it's like pepper and herbs. The Hemp Gin. Almost not in a negative way, but oilier, like citrus oil, and the very lemony taste in it. Oh yeah, Abigail, I am not an olive person, and calling them Satan's salty testicles is flattering them. Megaleech loves Satan's salty testicles. Someone's got them there. Mrs. Angry is fond of them, so. That Archie Rose Bone Dry is such a clean taste. Oh my god, it's so good. Right, I'm going to put a little bit of ice in each of them. Dropping Z in. See if that opens up other flavors. If I had a shotgun, I'd fire it into the tree that those fucking cicadas are in. So, chilled Bass and Flinders New World Gin. It is. It's like a very savory gin. Like it does have that herb and it's like a little bit salty almost. I'm gonna make a martini with that. And I'm gonna slowly lose my mind because of those fucking cicadas. Deep sigh. Oh, it's nice. You get a little bit of honey in that one too, like lemon and honey. Music later, what killed all the cicadas in Broady? I'm not sure if you just mean just generally that's what happened or if there's a joke coming. Right, and a little bit of the Archie Rose. And you've got that sort of piney flavor of the juniper in there. God damn, that's good. Yeah, you can hear the cicadas. They're really fucking loud. It's fucking getting to me. But you can't stop them. Motherfuckers just sit in the tree and scream. That's what they do. All right. Well, that was fun. It is. I now know if I see something that says you want a savory gin, that new one I got is the one to go. It's like dry, citrus, savory. And I've got some sweeter ones too. Justin, you're coming after a good grind hooker. Nice. Love to hear someone starting the night with a win. Excellent thing. Oh, musical ever. You think it's just there's just silence, no cicadas. These are the first cicadas I've heard in ages. We had some cicadas earlier in summer, but this had been a pretty good summer for no cicadas, and the fuckers just reappeared recently. Anyway, gotta put these back. I've got so many gins, it's ridiculous. Right, that's right. I'm gonna make martini. Got my stirring glass. Got my stirring stick. And my strainer. Alright. So, I got all the required implements. You know what? I'm going to use that ice. Okay. Some water in it. I think I will get a little bit more ice. Oh, the ice is going to work. Yeah. Fucking big lump of ice, that'll do. Okay. Need a jigger. Washed my jigger. So hard to not say something politically incorrect whenever I say the word jigger. Get my martini glass. Might put it in the freezer for a minute, which will just chill it a little. It's the first time in a while I've made a martini rather than just going with my freezer martini. Because I want to do a martini with this new one. Big question, which vermouth? How much of this is left? I am going to go with my newest vermouth. Now that Australian vermouth. Bianco Aperitif. Okay. This is all good. This is all good. Am I rapping for Jesus? Maybe. Gin. Okay. Ooh, bitters. I want some orange bitters. Just a little. There's my orange bitters. A little bit of orange bitters for this as well. Okay, so here we go. Look it up on YouTube. Rapping for Jesus. Sounds vaguely familiar, actually. We will do a healthy serve of gin. Because we are not here to fuck spiders. We are here to drink gin. And bit of vermouth. We will keep it fairly dry. Not so dry as Kirsten likes it. I do it about 5 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. Kirsten does it about 8 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. Almost Winston Churchill level. Winston Churchill, who just liked to drink gin. All right. A little bit of cocktail ASMR. All right. Oh, God. Megaleech. Good advice when you're talking about rapping for Jesus. Don't misspell it with only 1 R, 1 P. Although that happened in the Crusades. Right. Got my slightly chilled, extremely classy martini glass. Da-da-da-da. Strain it in. Not gonna bother with the garnish. Oh, what's that bit of ice doing in there? Didn't fine strain it, did I? Okay. Yeah, Abigail, I think there was lots in the Bible about that, but not for Jesus. It was all in the Old Testament. So, probably doesn't show up on the resolution of the webcam, but this martini glass has this really beautiful etching in it, lacework. I got this from the Bitters Lab, which is near where Dr. Abigail lives. And I went back there today, actually, because previously I originally had Nick and Nora glasses with this lacework on it. Then I saw martini glasses with it and had to get one. Today they had a new one, a huge rocks glass, an old-fashioned glass with the lacework on it. So I'll have to make an old-fashioned or something that goes in a rocks glass because I've got a very sexy new rocks glass. Wow, that is a different martini. You know what this needs? This needs to be dirty. I've got olive brine in the fridge. Where is my dirty Sue? This is olive brine solely for making dirty martinis. I need to dirty up this martini just a splash. That was probably too much. That's a filthy dirty martini now. Made myself a filthy dirty dry martini. Justin, does the Bible specifically say rape's not okay? Good question. I'm not sure. I know the Old Testament specifically says that Israelite soldiers are allowed and indeed encouraged to rape people they're at war with. Not sure if there's anything in the New Testament saying it's bad. Yep. that one is for dirty martinis. Put olive brine in there, and savory martini. Look out. Archie Monty, you didn't think I'd be that much of a Raven fan. I have not read a lot of Poe. I have read some Poe. I was just looking through what happened on this day, and today is the anniversary of the first publication of The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. And as I said in the description of this one, no word of a lie, this morning there was just this outrageous amount of noise from Australian ravens. I thought, what the fuck's going on? I went out and there was like more than a dozen of them, and they were just hanging out, and they were just, and I was, what's that about? And then when I found out it's the anniversary of the publication of The Raven, I think they were just celebrating. It was just like a Raven party to celebrate the thing. The Raven. I'm going to do a dramatic reading of it. Oh, it's a bit longer than I thought it was, but I'm going to do it. Do a dramatic reading. Justin, would be ironic if it doesn't say anything. Make a good argument. Oh, you don't even get there. Megalich, can I give a brief overview of the rating systems used for cocktails? Oh, Adopt a for light and easy meals. Okay. My rating system, and yeah, I apply it to more than cocktails, but it's out of 10. So 7 out of 10 is good. I enjoyed that. But I'm in no rush to have it again. So yeah, that's good. 6 out of 10 is okay. Like, I didn't hate it. If it's less than 6 out of 10, it's a terrible mistake. 6 out of 10 is okay, but not great. 7 out of 10 is good, but not good enough that I feel like I definitely want to have it again. 8 out of 10 is good, and I'm definitely going to have it again. Like, that was great. I will definitely have that again. 9 out of 10 was, that is so good, I feel like having more of it now. And more than 9 out of 10 is, this is my new favorite. This is fucking amazing. And yeah, even in light and easy, I don't know that I had any that were 9s out of 10s in light and easy, but there are a bunch that were 8s. There are a bunch that, like, no, this is good, I'm having this again. There's a bunch of 7s. Okay, well, the Raven's having a rave, maybe. Right, I'm going to do a dramatic reading. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more. Distinctly I remember, it was the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, 'tis that and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, stillness gave no token. The only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word Lenore, merely this and nothing more. Back into chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a rapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with a mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance at war. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marvelled this ungainly fowl to hear such discourse so plainly, though in answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed upon seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, and my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what utters it is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, out of never, nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaging in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fount whose fiery eyes now buried in my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er, she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the rufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thou God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, and Nephthene from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind of Nephthene, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here as hoot, whether tempest tossed thee here ashore. Desolate, yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, that's a Simpsons thing there. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sated maiden, whom the angels named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, who the angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie that thou hast spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Yes, eat my shorts, quoth the raven. Justin, I don't do 10s out of 10 because that suggests something can't be better. Something has been 9.5 or more than 9.5 out of 10. Like literally, in terms of cocktails, I've had one and it's so fucking amazing. I couldn't believe it. It's just like, this is incredible. This is like a 9.5, 9.75 out of 10. This is fucking incredible. So yes, I don't say 10 out of 10. If I go more than 9 out of 10, it's just like, I can't believe how good this is. The most recent one I discovered that really made me go, oh my God, like 9.5 out of 10 was called a Woodson and Ford. It was friggin' great. Abigail reading the Raven, very monotonic. That's my reading style. And I didn't rehearse it. So it was a spontaneous decision. My God, this is what I love about martinis. I just made this dirty martini. That is so different to my freezer martini, which is not a dirty martini. Maybe I'll put a bit of the brine in the freezer martini, actually. Oh God, the cicadas have gone, and it's just made me notice that the stove is doing its buzzing thing. Just checking something. Where are we? Technology, entertainment, sport. Sorry, I just feel like there's a lot of noise from the TV, which is about the tennis. I just want to see where it is. And yes, Abigail, good call. Jesus died for our sins. So if you don't sin, he died for nothing. So I have to see. What's happening in the tennis. Oh, it's over. Was it straight sets? Was it tiebreak? Yeah. So it's obviously just. All right. Yeah. All right. I was just confirming. Ash Barty did indeed win the Australian Open just now. There you go. Good on you. Actually, I don't know why I was standing up and make the fucking stove stop singing the song of its people, for fuck's sake. Dun, 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 dun. And I gotta make it go from 12 to 24, and it gets faster. Countdown: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, 5 over. That's not bad. I'm just going to fill up my water jugs while I'm standing up. In facto. So have filtering jugs over here, which is probably unnecessary. Melbourne tap water is quite good. But I do think you can actually taste the difference. So there we go. Filtering some tap water. Right, now I'm going to come and sit down again. Sit down. Dr. Abigail, careless about the tennis. It's kind of interesting. She's a bit of a role model. I like her. It's really interesting for a change to have a savory martini rather than a dry martini. I probably still prefer, I definitely still prefer a dry martini, but variety is good. Even when you're actually being a sort of glass half full person, when you try something as an experiment and it isn't great, you can enjoy going back to the thing you do like. Dr. Abigail saying Ash Barty is a role model. So that's cool. Again, I don't give a shit about tennis or any other sport. But it's like, oh no, she as a person is a pretty cool person. So, yeah, but say, Dr. Abigail, you're not into tennis, you're not into sport. It is not necessary for you to know who they are. This is not a world-shaking thing. But I think she seems like a good person who can have a positive impact on a lot of other people. So go her. But yeah. That was really interesting. Now I want to have something. Oh, brandy. That's right. My other tasting thing tonight is brandy. All right. But I'm going to have some water. Actually, has this all melted now? Yeah, that mostly tastes like water. All right. Put that ice back in my water drinking glass and drink some water. So Abigail, shorthand, Ash Barty is a young Indigenous woman who is the world #1 women's tennis player, and she just won the Australian Open. So she's a good role model for a lot of people. And she seems like a decent person, so good on her. Because there have certainly been so many people from big sports, including tennis, who were fairly garbage. Oh, yeah. I don't even... That Band-Aid is blending very well with my skin. Show that to Dr. Abigail. I do this thing. Okay. Again, political people might have noticed if you've been to a Coles supermarket, they have this promotion where if you have like a Flybuys card, you accrue points, which they call knife credits, which I think is hilarious. They have these super sharp knives that are tied into their sponsorship of MasterChef. And you get points for buying things. I just buy things at the supermarket anyway. I don't buy them to get points. And you get enough knife credits and you get one of these knives for free. And I've actually got a couple of them because, I'm buying stuff for a family. So I accrue enough points at the supermarket to get them. And I got these little steak knife ones today. And the fucking packaging, there's in the plastic packaging, is that stuff you can't get apart, like made by Bastards Incorporated. And I'm desperately just sort of breaking, trying to get it out. And I'm thinking, this is really dodgy because I'm flexing and twisting and breaking something that's got some fucking sharp knives in it. I'm probably going to hurt myself. And basically, just as I was thinking, if I'm not careful, I'm going to hurt myself. And a bit of the plastic snapped. And the knife flew out of the packaging, like went straight up and came down. And packaging, and I kind of caught it there. And Mrs. Angry was there with me, and I was going, well, that was ridiculous. I was just thinking I was going to hurt myself with that. And then that happened. And she said, did you hurt yourself? And I went, no. And then I looked, and there's this cut on my arm that's just starting to bleed. And not a deep cut, but because it was a cut made by a really sharp knife, it's like this really clean cut. And it's just starting to bleed. Yeah. So I've just stuck a Band-Aid on it. I'll probably take the Band-Aid off tomorrow. I don't think he's going to get infected. I'll put this vermouth back in the fridge. There you go, vermouth back in the fridge. Back in the fridge you go. Oh, you know what I might do? How many cherries are still in here? It looks like about half a dozen. I might put them in the new jar. Then I've got all that cherry juice that I could make. It's not cherry juice, it's syrup. It's 50% sugar at least. Maybe use it for something. Ooh, Mrs. Angry might make pancakes this weekend. I could pour cherry syrup on them. That would be yum. So, all right. Well, that's the big news of the evening. Ash Barty winning this round. All right. So we've had poetry. Shall I go back to free will? On the one hand, humans have a strong sense of freedom, which leads them to believe they have free will. On the other hand, an intuitive feeling of free will could be mistaken. Yes, that is true. It's difficult to reconcile the intuitive evidence of conscious decisions are causally effective with the view that the physical world can be explained entirely by physical law. Conflict between intuitively felt freedom and natural law arises when either causal closure or physical determinism is asserted. With causal closure, no physical event has a cause outside the physical domain. And with physical determinism, the future is determined entirely by preceding events, cause and effect. The puzzle of reconciling free will with deterministic universe is known as the problem of free will, sometimes referred to as the dilemma of determinism. Dilemma leads to a moral dilemma as well. Question of how to assign responsibility for actions if they are caused entirely by past events. Compatibilists maintain mental reality is not of itself causally effective. Classical compatibilists have addressed the dilemma of free will by arguing that free will holds as long as humans are not externally constrained or coerced. Modern compatibilists make a distinction between freedom of will and freedom of action, that is, separating freedom of choice from the freedom to enact it. Given that humans all experience a sense of free will, some modern compatibilists think it necessary to accommodate this intuition. Compatibilists often associate freedom of will with the ability to make rational decisions. Different approach to the dilemma is that of incompatibilists. Namely, if the world's deterministic, then our feeling we're free to choose an action is simply an illusion. Metaphysical libertarianism is a form of incompatibilism which posits that determinism is false, free will is possible, at least some people have free will. This view is associated with non-materialist constructions, including both traditional dualism as well as models supporting more minimalist criteria, such as the ability to consciously veto an action or competing desire. Yet even with physical indeterminism, arguments have been made against libertarianism. It's difficult to assign origination. Free will here is predominantly treated with respect to physical determinism in the strict sense of nomological determinism, although other forms of determinism are also relevant to free will. For example, logical and theological determinism challenge metaphysical libertarianism with ideas of destiny and fate. Biological, cultural, and psychological determinism feed the development of the compatibilist models. Separate classes of compatibilism and incompatibilism may even be formed to represent these. Here are the classical arguments bearing upon the dilemma and its underpinnings. Incompatibilism, hard determinism, metaphysical libertarianism, non-causal theories, event causal theories, agent substance causal theories, hard incompatibilism, causal determination, destiny and fate, logical determinism, omniscience, predeterminism, theological determinism, mind-body problem, compatibilism, free will as a lack of physical restraint, free will as a psychological state, free will as unpredictability, the physical mind, other views, free will as an illusion, free will as a moral imagination, free will as a pragmatically useful concept, free will and views of causality, free will according to Thomas Aquinas, free will as a pseudo problem. Well, there you go. There's a lot to take in there. So, I think there's potentially some interesting stuff in there, and Hello, here I am talking about major philosophical discussions that have been going on for 2 centuries and saying, some of it might be interesting. Wah, wah. Oh. It's fun when you catch yourself and go, oh my God, that was a ridiculous thing I just said. Did I take the red pill? That's when you accept reality. Yeah, blue pill is when you can continue to accept the illusion. It's I feel like the whole thing with free will comes down to it's like a semantic argument. It's like, well, I can choose to do this or this. And someone goes, you think you're choosing, but what you end up doing was always determined. It's like, you can't fucking prove that. You can't prove or disprove that. I think it's rational to say every decision we make is constrained by everything that happened before. It's not what you end up doing is not necessarily determined by everything that happened before, but what you end up doing is incredibly significantly constrained by everything that happened before. There's a limited range. Like, even if there were literally a million different things I could do, that's not infinite. It's constrained. So I'm taking, oh man, look at that. The Band-Aid was making me feel itchy, which I thought was bad. So I'm taking, and it's not bleeding anymore. See, look, it's a nasty wound. It's a fucking scratch. There is a fucking scratch on my arm, honestly. There's not even a blood. That's the second Band-Aid I put on, because the first Band-Aid did actually soak up a lot of blood. But there's, it's sealed up. So just sharing that it wasn't self-harm. It was clumsiness. Was it Yeah, it was clumsiness. Honestly, it was clumsiness. It's the kind of thing like, when you drop something, you've got this impulse to catch it before it hits the ground. More than once, I've dropped knives, like sharp fucking knives, and my initial impulse is to catch it or stop it hitting the floor. And I've never really badly hurt myself, but it's kind of like, don't do that. Don't catch the sharp thing. Don't catch the sharp thing, because it's sharp and you'll fuck yourself up with the sharpness. So, but there was also this little scratch happened because the knife went up and I sort of caught it against my chest and went, got it. And that seemed like I was catching. I should have just stepped out of the fucking way of it. But I went, catch it. And so I got that scratch on my arm. What are you gonna do, eh? What are you gonna do? Okay, just randomly, this popped into my head. I was joking about making a cocktail ASMR video. I found one on YouTube. There's a 45-minute cocktail ASMR video, which is all about putting ice in glasses, pouring stuff out of bottles, stirring, shaking, pouring. A 45-minute cocktail ASMR video. Also, one of the guys who's also has a YouTube cocktail channel on our Discord, he pointed out, like, I found this really fucking weird one. And it was one of those somewhat sexual female ASMR. I think there's also somewhat sexual male ASMR channels as well. But this woman's like saying in this little soft voice, it's talking about cocktails. Have you tried whiskey? Whiskey's interesting. And it's not like the Twitch ASMR things some weird mutation of softcore porn. But yeah. Chris, Dr. Abigail is certainly dominating the chat. Nice of you to pipe up. I'm going to, I think there's, some melted ice in these. I'm going to do my next taste comparison now. My little shot glasses. Drain the water that's in them. All right. It's brandy time. Yes, Chris, a lot ASMR, particularly on Twitch, mutated into audio porn, but original ASMR was not so much that. Abigail's doming the chat. Take it, you naughty little chat. All right, so brandies. Oh, all right. The one I got today, the Sambrani, on the 23rd Street. That's the other one. I just gotta remember where I put the Blue Swift. There's the Blue Swift. That was easy. Don't know why you all said it would be hard. You were wrong. Right. I'm going to put this can in the recycling. I have to take that pile of recycling out to the recycling bin. I like that, Abigail. Freedom isn't free, you dirty little boy. All right. So I got this today from the Coles bottle shop because it was really cheap. It's like $30. It's like $15-20 off. VSOP. There are 3 rankings of brandy. It's a French brandy. So it's not a cognac, it's a brandy. Cognac has to follow stricter rules. Don't know if you heard the gurgling there. The gurgling's always nice, a new thing. All right. So that's a French brandy. This is an Australian brandy from Adelaide. Pour a bit of that out. Und this is also French from Martel, their Blue Swift. This is a VSOP cognac that's finished in bourbon casks. So it actually takes on some characteristics of bourbon. And just for fun, I'm just going to compare them. The Remy VSOP. So there's, okay. Brandy. Wikipedia's probably got the VSOP aging. Terminology. Varieties. Cognac. Label. Okay, here we go. VS is very special. Designates a blend. The youngest brandy has been stored at least 2 years in a cask. VSOP, very superior old pale, designates a blend in which the youngest brandy is stored for at least 4 years in a cask. XO is a blend in which the youngest brandy is stored at least 6 years. So those are the 3 main brandy classifications. Very special is aged 2 years. Very superior old pale, aged at least 4 years. And extra old, XO, stored at least 6 years. The theory is that it becomes more smooth and complex the years in the barrel. Anyway, so that's this one from 23rd Street. Doesn't actually match it. Angels have imbibed their share with each parcel matured an average of 5 years. So this is a blend that they've done where the average age of the brandies is 5 years. So they're not following those European rules. Anyway, all right. So this is the cheapest one, the Saint Remy, which I got today. Smells really nice. It's like, you know, that brandy tends to smell just sugary. Brandy's like fruit-based spirit. The 23rd Street smells a bit more like grapes. I do like the smell of brandy. Brandy smells quite nice. Decent brandy smells quite nice. ABC on Twitch. Hello. Chris, French brandy, Aussie brandy is a brandy from next door. All right, so taste test. This is the cheapest one, the St. Remy. Honestly, okay, no word of a lie. As it went down, it's like that tasted weirdly like Coca-Cola, which I'm sure the St. Remy people will be fucking mortified. A, B, C, and D. Do I remember you? Not specifically. And I apologize for that. My excuse is I am old and my brain forgets things. So if I initially don't specifically remember you, not a reflection on you, reflection on me. All right. 23rd Street's Prime 5. Oh, wow, that's good. That's a whole thing that progresses as it goes down. And it's very smooth. I'm very bad with the words, but it's good. That's what I'm saying. And then the Martell Blue Swift, which is arguably the snobbiest of it. Official Justin Watson. Hello. You like the shirt, Chris? Okay, I like the shirt too. Also, I weakened today. I ordered more shirts online. They'll probably take weeks, if not months, to arrive. But look out, even more cocktail shirts. I think I ordered like another fucking 10 shirts. I clicked that one. And then it was like, that's 20 shirts. So that will cost you this much. And I'm like, not doing that. And so then it was a little painful to cull. And I got rid of half of them. I think I ordered about 10 new shirts, though. Some of them are they're all good. They all look good on the website. Some of them are really fucking cool, though. Chris, when I'm 90, I'll tell tales of the Freedom Correspondent. Who can't? Chris, how could I forget my Freedom Correspondent? Anyway, this is the snootiest of them, the Martell. Man, it's like it was finished in a bourbon cask. It does really have whiskey characteristics. Honestly, they're all good in different ways. Why I'm big thing in, man, don't believe the snobby thing like, oh, the only sparkling wine you should have is champagne. You know, the only brandy you should have is cognac. I'm not saying champagne's bad. I'm not saying cognac's bad. But it's like some of this shit just gets by on snob flavor. Snob value. That's what I meant to say. All right. A little bit of ice. I'm going to chill them and dilute them a bit. It's interesting. They are different colors. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera. Okay, so the St. Remy and the 23rd Street, very similar yellow colors. The Martell is darker. Not sure if that's showing. This is the Martell. It's darker than this, the 23rd Street. Chris, the only brandy should have is Bob's cousin. No, brandy jokes, definitely. All right, so I'm going to do, this is the cheapest brandy. I mean, it's quite good. It's nice. It's nice. And by cheapest, because it was on a very good special. So by buying it on special, it actually costs less than half as much as the other brandies. And it's quite good. This is the Australian one, 23rd Street's Prime 5. It's good. It is very good. It's very smooth. I would definitely say the 23rd Street is better than the St. Remy, but the St. Remy's good. I think it was barely more than $30. So yeah, if I think brandy is a very good cocktail component, and if you weren't really into brandy, I don't want to spend a lot of money. Fucking go to a Coles bottle shop, and they've got this St. Remy really cheap at the moment. Official Justin Waston, great experience with French brandy. Had an entire, holy shit, a tumbler of brandy. That's a lot of fucking booze, man, because the average brandy is 40% alcohol. So if you're drinking a fucking tumbler of it halfway through a movie, you're going to be fucking well and truly Tim Smith. So this one is, yeah, it's 40%. They're all 40%, I think. Oh, no, actually, the St. Remy is slightly lighter. It's 37%. The Martell's 40%. 23rd Street is 40%. Yeah, 40% standard for a brandy. Celtic King, glad you like the shirt too, Brew. Chris, you had a crush on a brandy growing up. Why is brandy the only girl's name? Why are no girls called bourbon? Why are no girls called whiskey? Yes, Chris, the brandy lives on 20. Man, that fucking Martell Blue Swift is good. It's brandy with just a smidge of the bourbon flavor. It's really good. Man, I should make an old-fashioned. Maybe I'll make a Martell old-fashioned. Because I need to make an old-fashioned with my new old-fashioned glass. Oh. Oof, I was just thinking I might put a video on and have a toilet break. 9:43, fucking time flies. 1 hour and 45 minutes on my own. Chris, I'm glad you're on board with me liking the St. Remy, which is the cheap brandy. It's good. I think the 23rd Street and the Martell are noticeably better in different ways. But man, I am absolutely making cocktails with that St. Remy. Maybe even tonight. My favorite brandy cocktail is a sidecar, which is a nice, simple cocktail. I might do it tonight. Celtic, AD joined the other night, like Thursday night, and I haven't heard from him since. So I'm not really sure what he's doing. He just told us all these stories about a very dangerous person in his building. So, yeah. Justin, I am absolutely untalented musically. I play no musical instrument. The mate of yours used to get through Dark Side of the Moon, take a shot after each song while playing bass. He sounded great when he reached Eclipse. I am absolutely on board with someone firing up their musical creativity like that. It is a source of disappointment to me that I am completely untalented musically. But that's just how it goes, I guess. All right. I'm going to do a couple of things. Safi, oh God, you're still, in the country areas, you're still getting the really extreme storms. Very quiet in Melbourne today, but I did see that the big storms were still happening in country areas. No, Abigail, I also can't juggle. And I literally think Aidsy and I did the same theatre degree. I literally think Aidsy can juggle, or he probably can't juggle now because rheumatoid arthritis, his joints are all fucked and he can't move that well, but he used to be able to juggle. I literally think I am the only person who graduated my course without ever learning to juggle. It's ridiculous. All right, I'm going to put the 23rd Street and the Martell back. I may well make a cocktail because I don't know how long this stream's going to go. I may well make a cocktail with the Saint Remy. I did talk about doing an old-fashioned with the Martell, didn't I? Oh, I just fucking decided what sort of old-fashioned I'm doing. It's going to be 50% Blue Swift and 50% whiskey barrel aged brandy or cognac, in fact, and whiskey barrel aged gin, 50-50. That's the old-fashioned I'm going to make. All right, so 23rd Street, you go back. You doing God's work, 23rd Street. Well, I might play a video while I do a toilet break. Why not indeed? Suffolk feels like you're in North Queensland because of the severity of the storm. Okay. YouTube. Okay. YouTube. But like for some reason I've started kind of humming along with the Spider-Man theme. Does whatever a spider can. I didn't play my coconut video. It's too long. Did I play my Burns? Okay. Did I play the video with my terrible Scottish accent? Hello, Queen Kirsten. Hellion, hello. I feel like I didn't share the video on the stream with my terrible Scottish accent for the video I made for Burns Night earlier in the week. I didn't? I'm going to share that. Because it's terrible. Burns Night. All right. So, I'm going to share my Burns Night video. Mrs. Angry's just dumping. Are you going to have anything, or are you just like kind of laughing at me talking about my bad Scottish accent? No? You missed me completely.
Yeah,
no, that's okay. That's fair.
Can I have a Christmas cherry?
A Christmas cherry. Okay, before I do anything, I'm making Mrs. Angry a Christmas cherry drink. Let's go, diffidide. Home of discerning drinkers. I honestly think, I love it when someone says like, available at all quality record stores. That's probably also available at shitty stores. And Difford's, home of the discerning drinkers. Also, probably some very non-discerning pissheads. Christmas cherry that Mrs. Angry likes. Ah, yeah, it's got the Jennifer cherry. A little bit of Amara and gin. And maraschino. So it's got a lot going on, basically. All right. Going to make this for Mrs. Angry. All right. I need to get a couple of bottles. Okay. So that's the cherry. I got the cherry. I'll move my glass out of the way so I don't break it. Cherry. Jennifer hates this imposition. Only people who were into the music that I'm into would know that. Okay. Jennifer, what else do I want to get? No, I think if I use the barrel-aged gin, that will do that one. Okay. No, I will do that. Once in a while, that's the sailor. I don't really want to use the sailor. I use the ginger bear. Got a basketball Jones and a little. Supposed to put a bit of maraschino in as well, which I seriously don't think you would taste among all the other stuff. But what the hey? I'm going to do it anyway. Right. Just getting my the jigger that has small measurements on it. What have we got here? We'll put it in this glass, I think. Which, I'll just put it in the freezer for a bit. Chill it for a bit. It'll just take me a minute or so to make this cocktail. Justin, you think the stream is insightful? Thank you. Christmas in Australia, do I need of a liquor cabinet restock? Oh, dude. Justin, where do you live, actually? Kirsten, your cats are the greatest thing that ever happened to you. That is nice. I like that. Saf, how long's the stream going? Don't know, bro. Don't know. Probably at least another hour. Probably at least till 11. But we'll see. Okay, so I'm making this for Mrs. Angry. Okay, Jennifer. 1 Oz of the Jennifer. I love that. Oh, man, this stuff smells so good. It's like Jennifer's like gin moonshine, basically. 1 ounce of that. 1 ounce of cherry. And this beautiful sort of 70s bottle. This is the weird thing. Global trade is the weirdest thing. This is from Croatia. I get it at Dan Murphy's because A, it's a good price. B, it's a good product. Yeah, I'm drinking Croatian liqueurs. What's that all about? Now it says Barolo-Chinato. I have decided, I've made an executive decision, just using this gingerbread gin. Whiskey barrel-aged gin. So I'm gonna put a bit more of maraschino. See, same bottle, made by the same people. Maraschino liqueur is made from the seeds of the cherry, whereas cherry liqueur is made from the fruit of the cherry. So maraschino liqueur tends to, it's sweet, but it tends to be a little bit nuttier than like the cherry liqueur. 2 dashes of orange bitters. All right. Orange bitters. Gaz Regan's bitters, and I've got Gaz Regan's finger to stir it with. Okay, Justin, you're in Lake Macquarie. Okay, cool. The reason I asked Justin, I thought you were Australian. I just want to put in, check out if there's a Woolies anywhere near you and they have a bottle shop like the BWS bottle shop. Some of them have unadvertised specials, particularly on Australian products, like Australian gins in particular. I got one today. It was like a third off. Really worth doing. And Rottweiler dude, I did see that thing about Pauline Hanson getting stung by wasps, which is hard not to laugh at, quite honestly, because she fucking sucks so much. Put a bit of ice. Bit of ice in my stirring glass to chill the cocktail. It's your cocktail, aren't you? It's got a little song to go with it. ASMR. bit hypnotic. I didn't know how long I was going to stir that. It got a bit hypnotic stirring it. Okay, the glass has been chilling. Get that. Right. How's that tasting? Oh my God, that's a good drink. Oh my God, that's good. So, rating system. This one, the Christmas Cherry, is at least an 8 out of 10, maybe an 8.5. For the garnish, do you want to get me one of the skewers and also a teaspoon? Ooh, that's a nice wash line. If you've ever heard the term wash line in relation to a drink, particularly a cocktail, what it refers to is how close the drink is to the rim of the glass. It shouldn't be right at the top because you're going to spill it, but close to the top is visually quite appealing. That's a good wash line. That is an excellent wash line. Right, I'm going to get Mrs. Angry a cherry to top off the cocktail. Right. Get a cherry, put it on a skewer. And that's Mrs. Angry's Christmas Cherry. Yeah, you're welcome. So what did I miss, Kirsten? In Newcastle, there are some local distilleries that are awesome, but not the newer distillery. That place is trash. Excellent. Yeah, Justin, this is a weird thing I have discovered. Both the Coles bottle shop and the Woolies bottle shop often have unadvertised specials that are way better than Dan Murphy's prices. But I found a couple of Woolies bottle shops in the Melbourne CBD that it's like they've done this thing with going, I'm going to be cool and support Australian distillers. And they bought these Australian gins, which then no one bought because people who want cool gins don't necessarily go to Woolies. And so now they're selling these really nice Australian gins at like a third off. It's amazing. All right. The last few cherries from my old cherry jar, I'm going to put in the new cherry jar I got today. There was a period when no one had these Luxardo maraschino cherries, and I was freaking out that I'd run out of them. But I got them today. Actually, that's all I could fit in here. How many are still here? Ooh, there are some damaged ones. All right. No, that's enough. All right. Still a couple of cherries. Oops. Don't fuck up your jar, mate. These are the fucking tits. This costs, depending where you get it, somewhere between $20 and $25. Fucking worth it. These are the tits, man. They're so fucking good. So it was Justin, you're saying Pauline Hanson. Can't tell if you're more embarrassed by her, Scott Morrison, Tony Abbott, or Clive Palmer. Yeah. You like Aussie beers? Oh, Stone and Wood Distillery a few months ago. I have a moonshine made from Stone and Wood beer. I'll get the bottle, and I think it has the story on it. Oh God, what's the easiest way to get that out? It's in an awkward place. I have to remove several bottles to get this out. Okay, put that there. This is from the Cape Byron Distillery. Brookies. Oh, Jesus. Justin, I think this is not far from you. Brookies, the Cape Byron is pretty good. Pacific Moonshine. Okay, so tropical, salty, like your first post-surf sip. Pacific Moonshine, love child, born of pandemic, artfully distilled from kegs of Pacific Ale. Strange little sipper, burst with flavor, tropical fruit. Made with love by Cape Byron Distillery and Stone and Wood. What happened? Okay, this came from very early in COVID lockdowns. Stone and Wood Distillery had like a shit ton of beer that was destined for pubs, but all the pubs were shut and it was never going to be sold. And they said to their pals at the Cape Byron Distillery, what will we do with it? And they go, and then we could distill it and turn it into hand sanitizer. And they were like, let's do that. And then someone at the distillery went, you know what? Fuck that. No, let's use your beer as the base for a moonshine. And this stuff is fucking great, actually. 44% alcohol. It's really good. Kirsten, you saw a cherry meme made you think of me. Nice. Yum. Cherry juice. Yum. Still a couple cherries in here, but there's a lot of cherry juice. It's, I've said that before. It's not cherry juice. It's fucking syrup, honestly. I'm going to keep that ice, I think. Make myself drink. Right. Okay. I got interrupted making that drink from Mrs. Angry. Justin. Yeah, you know, a lot of the distilleries made hand sanitizer in 2020. But yeah, the Cape Byron distillery, they went like, oh, you know what? We were going to make hand sanitizer, but fuck it. Let's make moonshine. I think you can still get this. Justin. And it's really good. It's a very limited product, but I think you can still get it. It's CapeByronDistillery.com. Also, just generally, the stuff they make is very good. But this, if you can still get it, it's a very unique product and thing. Kirsten, you reckon I did show the Burns Night video? Okay. Other people reckoned I didn't. Maybe they didn't see it. Okay, now my little scratch on my arm's getting itchy. I have to not scratch it or it won't heal. What could I show you? I was about to show you the Bobby Burns with my terrible Scots accent. Okay, what have I done recently? Did I show you Uncle Pete? I did show. Okay. Justin, okay, how would I describe the flavor of the moonshine? Dude, I haven't drunk it in a while. I'm going to have a sip. And I'll describe it to you. Wait a sec. That had water in it, or melted ice as it was. I'm going to have a little sip. So on the nose. Oh, wow. It's really nice on the nose. It's like honey. Spirit. But what does it taste like? It's actually really nice. How do they describe it? Salty? Distilled from kegs of Pacific Ale? Strange living bursts with flavors of tropical fruit, fresh pineapple, lychee, passion fruit, and mango. It is kind of raw. It is actually quite fruity. It's nice, basically. You put this in where this works really well is basically any cocktail that calls for rum, use this instead of rum. And you get a different drink. It definitely doesn't taste the same as if you made it from, but like make a daiquiri with this, make a Mai Tai with this. It's really good. That's probably my default recommendation. Substitute this for rum, and you'll get a great drink. It'll be different than if you made it for rum, but it's good. This is really good. Okay, so I did play Uncle Pete. Maybe I'll play it. What okay, what's what are my videos recently? Uncle Pete, the coconut video. I definitely didn't play the coconut video. You get to see me in some of these shirts where I did a coconut aged cocktail. I'm sure I didn't share that. Oh, Justin, no, that on ice, fucking great. Definitely. And yeah, even don't fuck around. Have it straight on ice. Have it as a highball, like use soda or ginger ale or something. Justin, you want to show the missus this segment? This, if you can still get this, really worth it. This would be good on ice. It would be good on a highball with like soda, lemonade, ginger ale, and any cocktail that calls for rum. Just substitute that, and you get a really interesting cocktail. But also the Cape Byron Distillery, their gins and other things, also very good. I think I've got their slow gin. And Brookies. Do Brookies make Mac? Okay, dude, this is one of my fucking favorites. Yeah. Brookies make Mac. This is a macadamia and wattle seed liqueur made by the same people. This is fucking incredible. Like, use this as a substitute for amaretto. This is absolutely amazing. Yeah, Abigail, Angry Bunch. Okay, let me do this. I need to do a toilet break. Prepare, anyone who wants to join Angry Bunch, prepare yourself. I will play my... Which one will I do? 5 minutes. I'm going to do my coconut video. It's 5 minutes. 5 minutes coconut video. And I'll play that. I need to do a toilet break. Justin, seriously, that macadamia liqueur, there are a small number of things that I must have in my bar. And that macadamia liqueur is one of them. It's fucking killer. That with whiskey, it's so good. It's even by the macadamia liqueur on ice cream, freaking amazing. It's basically extremely good. Okay, so I'm going to do my coconut video. Share my screen, share the audio, Edge, coconut aged cocktail. Let's go full screen and play it.
I apologise for making that disgusting
Is the audio
noise.
okay? Someone tell me if the audio is okay.
Cocktail lovers, it's concoctions in the kitchen time, except I'm outside. Felt like switching things up. Let's see if I regret this because of the amount of noise, but I thought it would be fun to try. I'm going to very quickly go through what I'm doing. I have a coconut. I'm going to age a cocktail in a coconut. I'm going to link you in the details to a detailed description of my inspiration from the Punch Drink website. But basically, punched a hole in it, and I'm going to put a cocktail in it. Now, I saw some videos on YouTube. Someone used a power drill to do it, and I thought, what a wuss, it's got these natural holes. No, they were onto something. Using a power drill is probably way better than what I did. I was going to put a speed pourer in, and I couldn't make the hole big enough without a power drill, which I don't have. But I did find this stopper for it. So what that means is it's going to be very messy when I pour it, but that's fine. Now, the original inspiration was a coconut-aged Negroni, and I'm not the hugest fan of Negronis because I don't like Campari. It's too bitter, but you know me, I'm into improvising and swapping. And so here's what I'm going to do. I bought this bottled cocktail a little while ago from the Archie Rose Distillery. They call it a Negroni. It's their version of a Negroni. It's quite smoky. It's probably a little bit bitter for me. They used something local, not Campari. But so I'm going to improvise. This is somewhere between a Negroni and a Boulevardier, because what I'm going to do is pour this in and then top it off with rye whiskey. I measured the capacity of this coconut, which was surprisingly voluminous, surprising to me at least, holds about 500 mils. There's about 400 mils in here. I'm going to top that off with 100 mils of rye whiskey, another local from the gospel there, straight rye, and then put it in the fridge for 10 days. Put the Negroni in the coconut and drink it all up. Top that off with rye, and this is one reason I'm doing it outside. I'm probably going to make a terrible mess. The inevitable happened, I overfilled it, but waste not, want not. I apologize for making that disgusting noise. Stop her in. And now this is going to age for 10 days. See you then.
It's New Year's Eve as I record this, so this should help me celebrate New Year's Eve. The video will be going up after New Year's Eve. I have 2 coconuts. I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. Look, idiot's a strong word, but I forgot what I put in one of them. One is my Negroni version. The other one, it's like rum, I think it's lime. I think it was heavily influenced by my current favourite cocktail, the Woodson and Ford. So it might have some cherry stuff in it. You can kind of, I don't know, can you see wet patches on the coconut? It seems to be leaking through. It should be interesting. So pouring it in the glass is probably going to be super messy. So I'm going to do that off camera and then do a tasting. I fine strained the cocktail. I did this one and I was going, okay, purely based on the colour, I'm pretty sure this is the Negroni. And then I strained the other one, which looks basically the same. Oh, let's taste it. Let's see what's happening. That's got sweet vermouth taste. I really like that. But I'm saying that's the Negroni. Now I'm going to taste this one and see how different it tastes. Oh no, that's smoky. This is the Negroni. I made these things. I have no idea what to say. Yeah, no, this is more bitter and it's a bit smoky, so that's got the Negroni in it. I like them. I know someone online who did a similar thing and they hated it. They said it tasted like coconut water. I don't think it tastes like coconut water. I think it tastes like it's been coconut fat washed, which it essentially has. That's pretty good. This is the rum and cherry one. Yeah, honestly, these are pretty good. I'm going to put these into some sort of bottle or decanter, and I'm going to crack the coconuts. Maybe see if the coconut meat's edible, because I definitely don't think it's safe to keep around. I think it might start to rot, even though the alcohol would have preserved it a bit. But yeah, this is not the worst experiment I've ever done. It's kind of fun. I like how it turned out. So, like I said, it's New Year's Eve while I'm doing that. So I have a couple of cocktails and honestly, quite a bit more in those coconuts that I can be knocking back. So I hope you're looking after yourself. I hope you had a good New Year's Eve, whether you had a big night or a quiet night. I hope you look after people around you as well, because we live in weird times. And I hope to see you again soon. But until I do, I'm back on my double fisting bullshit. So I'll say bye for now and cheers. Alrighty, so that was that one. Am I into swapping? I did say I'm into swapping. There you go, I am. So yeah, just an interesting liquor that goes well with ice cream. We tried Vodka Thunder, toffee flavored, not easy to find. I've got like a shit ton of fruit liqueurs and whatnot that are great with ice cream. I said I'm into swapping. Yeah, there you go. That's me sending out code on the internet to my kinky sex life. Just saying. Wow, that ice tasted really good. Might do another bit. Do. Actually, I'll just put a bit more in here. I am going to make an old-fashioned that's half Martell finished in whiskey barrel and half gin finished in whiskey barrel. Both in bourbon barrels. Interesting. Okay, so we want 1 ounce of the Martell cognac finished in bourbon barrels. Shazam, y'all. Captain Marvel Jones, he's the Southern Superman. I'm just remembering weird shit from my childhood at the moment. watching all them bad guys at 24 hours a day. We want a little, maybe I'm going to use the cherry syrup as a sugar syrup. I'm just going to put a spoonful of it in. I think Megaleech suggested I do this, so I am doing it. Just a spoonful of the cherry syrup. There you go. Might sit that in there. And I got out some special bitters I wanted to use. What did I do with them? They're here. Mr. Bitters Negroni bitters. I'm just going to put this in. Man, that Negroni bitters actually smells really good. Just as the cherry syrup goes down digest the well. Yeah, it's together. There is this fucking Japanese bartender on YouTube, or this video of a Japanese bartender on YouTube when he's stirring drinks. He just like eye bangs you. It's like, it's a little bit off-putting, that's what I'm saying. Oh no, I wanted to use my new old-fashioned glass, didn't I? Oh, faux. Yeah, boy. And I'm going to put a fucking cherry in that too. Put a cherry in it to get a cherry skewer. Right, so I'm actually just going to rinse my new old-fashioned glass, which is sexy as fuck. Oh, again. Okay, I need to put some ice in here. Then I'll show it off. Big chunk of ice from my big ice cube tray, which I refilled last night because I emptied it on last night's stream. Big fuck off ice cube tray I got from the Bitters Lab. This, as I was saying, is probably not showing up. Webcam's probably not high enough definition, but there's this beautiful sort of lacework etching on this glass. It's friggin' awesome. Anyway, all right. Old-fashioned in the glass. Well, it's a nice colour. I like the colour. And I'm going to get a cherry and put it in here. Abigail, are you making mac and cheese? I'm not sure where your reference to mac and cheese came from, so I assume you're making it. All right. I'm cheating and using a spoon to get the cherry out because there are so few of them left. I won't get them any other way. Put the cherry on the skewer. My bourbon finished old-fashioned. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Chris, you're eating mac and cheese. Chris has mac and cheese and a donut. Well, honestly, I didn't actually mention it, Abigail, but when we were out getting a care package for Nettie today and we were looking for the Coles chocolate mud cake, I was going to settle for, they had boxes of iced donuts. I was thinking, that thing. All right. Old-fashioned with bourbon barrel finished cognac and bourbon barrel finished gin. Fuck, that's good. Oh, that is really nice. That is really good. Justin, dude, I'm pure fucking class, mate. Pure fucking class. Oh, that's good. I fucking love an old-fashioned, whatever spirit you put in it. Thank you, Chris. for enjoying my celebration of the drink. This old-fashioned is a solid 8 out of 10. Would definitely make again. Oh, God, that's good. Like, I don't think it's more than 8 out of 10. Like, once you get more than 8 out of 10, it's like, this is so over the top good. I just want to make another one. That's one, it works. I would definitely make it. Next time I make it, it was an interesting experiment to put a spoon of the cherry syrup in. I'd probably do it with a spoon of cinnamon sugar syrup in there, actually. It is very good. Justin, you want to steal my glass? I like inspiring you that it feels that good, but if I keep going, I think the next drink is going to have Pacific Moonshine in it. They recommend their version of a Mai Tai. They call it a New Moon Mai Tai, I think. Fuck it, I'm gonna bring the what's the website? Cape Byron Distillery. Dude, I'd be jealous of you if you can go there in person. Cape Byron Distillery.com. Yes, I'm old enough to buy gin at a bar. Oh, they're doing bottled cocktails now, Negroni. Okay, things I have actually tried from the Cape Byron Distillery. Mac, which I was showing off before, which is fucking amazing. Their slow gin, which is very good. And the Pacific Moonshine, which is very good. Explore our cocktail list. Don't mind if I do. Show me something from your cocktail list. Inspirations from the distillery. All right, you want to know... Okay, cocktails with Pacific Moonshine? Yeah, Pacific Moonshine cocktails. Okay, Moonlight Paloma. They suggest Pacific Moonshine, grapefruit juice, and soda with a squeeze of lime. If you like grapefruit juice, that sounds really good. A Crescent Cooler, Pacific Moonshine, orange juice, lime juice, sugar syrup. I'm not super fond of orange juice in cocktails because I think it takes over, but I do have an orange. I've been peeling it for garnishes for my old fashions. I could squeeze it and have some fresh orange juice. I could make that one. I might. A Full Moon Mule, which is the moonshine and ginger. Oh my God. This and the spiced orange ginger ale I have in the fridge. Fuck me, that would be good. Pacific Iced Tea. And that's Pacific Moonshine, lemon juice, peach tea, and sugar syrup. I may actually just have a couple shots of this with the spiced orange ginger ale I have in the fridge. I think that would be fucking killer. Oh, shit. Abigail, Angry Bunch. Shit. Copy to clipboard. Okay. That is the Angry Bunch link for anyone who wants to join. Oh, Justin, Byron's 6 hours from you, man. Go to their website, capebyrondistillery.com. Yeah, Justin, thoroughly agree. Lemon and lime juice can be an integral part of a cocktail. Orange juice, I think, can just overpower a cocktail. Pineapple juice as well, but if you're doing shit with rum and stuff, that's a different deal. Chris would eat the treats. Speaking of treats, there's Dr. Abigail.
Please.
Oh, no, I didn't say this to you today because Dr. Abigail would... Hanging out's the wrong word. We were shopping and getting stuff for Nettie and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I paid for 15 minutes parking in front of Nettie's place in the middle of the city, And I thought, oh, I want to go to the bottle shop up there. And I did have a serious thing. I said, Abigail, you just wait for me because I'm going to go really fast and go up there. When I was coming back, because Abigail was dressed like that with the singlet and the tattoos showing, I was just like, just looks like there's a cool, tough chick making sure no one fucks with my car at the moment. Abigail was just kind of leaning on my car, waiting for me to come back. And I just thought, that looks pretty cool. It's just like I left this cool, tough chick guarding my car. Pretty funny. Pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Justin, if you're up for it, like I said, it's normally on a Friday and or Saturday night, but sometimes randomly on other nights, someone will go, "Hey, we've got to do Angry Punch," and I normally say yes. If someone brings it up, I normally say yes, and I share the link. But it's like, it varies from one other person. I don't know if anyone else is going to join tonight. StreamYard lets me have up to 8 people on here, and we have had 8 people on here, and that's why we call it Angry Bunch, because we all end up in these little squares and it looks like the opening credits of the Brady Bunch. So
yeah,
but
well,
yeah. Oh, Chris is joining us. Yay!
Hey.
Chris. Is that your donut? Chris is just showing off his donut.
Oh.
It's a freedom donut.
I would kill for a donut right now.
Should have brought the box of donuts I saw in Coles today. I didn't mention it to you, but I went, maybe we should just buy that box of donuts. But
I wanted to so much. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't, because I'm trying to lose weight. But right now, I want donuts so much.
I was a good boy today. This is my only sweet thing.
Yeah. Look, I've been really good lately. I haven't been snacking much. I've been eating properly. I made I made grilled salmon for like a salmon pasta salad. And I did this on a hot day and then put it in the fridge for the next day, and I didn't even eat it that night.
Wow, that is past Abigail looking after future Abigail.
Yeah, I've been and I haven't been buying snacks. I've only had Coca-Cola this weekend for the past week and a half, 2 weeks. I've been really good lately.
I gave up Coca-Cola for a couple years, but
you're back on it now.
Can't do it, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm Pepsi Max. My addiction is Pepsi Max.
And Angry, this is for your drink because you're really enjoying it. I had to get a Coke because you were enjoying it.
And Kirsten, sorry, Abigail, you go.
I find that because I don't drink nearly as much as Coke that I used to, but if I'll stop for ages and then I'll have one drink of Coke and I'm so wired I can just do anything, and suddenly I'm drinking all the Coke and back to normal. Caffeine is so stupid.
I'm drinking enough alcohol to counteract the caffeine I had at the start of the stream.
Good. I have a limited number of these I can drink in a day and in a week. So
okay. I licked the science today.
Oh yeah.
And
science martinis.
And these martinis are very potent.
All right. So we've definitely got to do a stream sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Science stream.
Yeah. Yes. Also, because I've been looking for tech support, Dr. Abigail is going to set up the laptop so I can do gaming streams as well.
Yes.
So some point in the next, I don't know, couple of weeks, whatever works out to be convenient and fitting in with Abigail's biorhythms, as in his chronic pain kicking her ass on a given day or whatever thing.
Look, I'm fighting chronic pain, chronic fatigue. I'm not fighting migraines anymore, which is
huge plus. Huge plus.
Huge plus. Heat
Yeah.
waves.
Which is hopefully
and-
over this
and-
week. Yeah.
Delayed sleep phase disorder, which I've had all my life. My body clock is literally a 25-hour body clock. I'm on
That's right.
Mars
You were saying
time.
you have a 25-hour body clock,
Yeah.
which fucked you up. Yeah.
I'm on Mars time, which which sucks. And
Yeah.
so all their powers combined means that at any given moment, I could be nocturnal, I could be a morning person, I could be a night person, I could be.
Yeah.
It's just random.
I feel like
So,
making them.
yeah.
I'm going to make an Abigail.
I
meme.
think I broke Chris.
Yeah.
All the powers.
I'm going to make an Abigail meme, which is Captain Planet with all these things. With my combined powers, chronic pain, chronic fatigue, fucked up sleep patterns.
It's not my
And
girlfriend.
and then the final thing is Captain Planet is,
Funny.
I am Abigail's fucked up day-to-day life.
Yeah. I'll form the ass.
Yes. Oh, no, Justin, I tried a couple times. Red Dead Redemption 2 is my all-time favorite. So when Abigail sets it up, I've got Red Dead on this laptop.
How
I
about
bought
we
a
make
new laptop.
we do it on this week, next weekend, like next Friday.
Friday?
We're like
Pencil it in.
'cause
Pencil it in for Friday.
we'll pencil it in because
Yeah.
Will is scheduled to go to my ex's place. So
Okay.
yeah, so hopefully
Done.
there
Okay,
we go.
so-
Thanks, Chris. Yep.
Okay.
Chris has it
Penciling
penciled in.
could be a super cool
Yep.
stream on Friday. Abigail be here in person for it with any luck. We'll see. And it might be a science stream as well. So
With some horsey adventures.
yeah, so it
That's
could
what-
be
yeah.
just mad.
Hopefully
What's-
not horse taste.
Justin Watson, caffeine is amazing and sucks balls at the same time because it's super easy to get a tolerance for it. It's like, and then you have to maintain a level to it's addictive. And what I want to know, what RDR2?
Red
What is
Dead
that?
Redemption 2.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
So yes,
what-
no, I
I've-
fucking love that
I've
game.
never played
and
it.
I've been saving it up. I got bored. I thought, no, people might entertain this. There's a mode I call Cowboy X, which is because I watched Sesame Street so much growing up. One of the weird animations on Sesame Street from the 70s, it's a very old animation, is a thing called Cowboy X. And it's this animation where these people in this Western town and a big cowboy comes running through town, rampaging, screaming, Cowboy X, woo! And he's got this big marker with an X on it. And he puts X's on everyone's forehead. And he's just going, Cowboy X, woo! And all the residents of Snidler's Gulch are very upset by it. And they don't know how to stop it. And what a kid in the town says,
Justin.
what?
Good night.
Justin's clocking off, dude. Early start. Go for it. And one kid says, what if we just asked him to stop doing it? And the residents of Snidler's Gulch go, that idea is so crazy, it just might work. And so Cowboy X comes through town again, rampaging, going, Cowboy X, woo! And the kid stops him and says, Cowboy X, would you please stop putting X's on everyone's forehead in this town? And Cowboy X stops and goes, why, sure I will. And he throws away the brand that has the X on it and pulls out another one and says, from now on, I'm going to be known as Cowboy O, woohoo! And runs around putting it. The last line is, and the residents of Snidler's Gulch lived happily ever after because they weren't very smart. And it's like... So in Red Dead Redemption, it's when I go into one of the towns, and I usually save it just before I go in because you end up with an unpayable bounty and everyone hates you. I go into a town and just start shooting people. And it's just like, you just run into town going,
Cowboy!
Bang, bang, bang. And then everyone comes after you. And I just rampage through the town going, Cowboy X, woo! Bang, bang, bang. And I always save it before I do it because... everyone fucking hates you if you do that. And I found how good can I cowboy exit? Because all the different towns are different. And there was one which is not... The biggest town is called Saint Denis, which is an approximation of New Orleans. And it's very hard to get away with shit in Saint Denis because it's bigger and it's full of fucking cops. If you do something wrong, cops just fucking descend on you. And if you try to run away from or kill a cop who's after you, 20 other cops show up. It's real difficult to get away with shit in Saint Denis. But some of the smaller towns, it's just like, yeah, there's not that many of you.
It sounds like you're saying Saint Denis.
Okay, Saint Denis, but said with a French accent.
Saint Denis. Okay.
So
Saint
Saint Denis, but it's in the south of the US.
Yep.
It's a Cajun town, so it's Saint Denis.
Yep.
But some of the smaller ones, and I found one, which is a town that I don't fucking like, and I don't fucking like any of the people in it. And I thought, I tried a couple times, can I just kill everyone in this town? And I found there was the bank building has a ladder at the back of it. And if you start some shit, like kill a couple people, and then everyone goes for you, and all the law comes in from different towns. But you find this building that's got a ladder up to the roof, and then you crouch down and no one can get you. They have to come up this ladder to get you, and they can only do that one at a time. So you crouch and you have your rifle ready. They rock up and you blow their fucking head off when they come up there. I killed like 50 people in this town. and so I mad Cowboy X to this town. And but yeah, I saved it because it's like you have an unpayable bounty and everyone hates you. But the different towns are very fun. There's one that's a trading post and there's no law. There's no law there. So if you start a fight, all the locals decide they hate you, and they all go for you.
Okay.
No law shows up. No law. And it's just like you can kill all the people who come for you in this town. And
murder hobo.
I'm being a murder hobo. I love doing it at night because you kill all the people who come for you and you kill a couple dozen people. And then dawn breaks and it's like a different shift happens. Everyone who was asleep when you were killing everyone wakes up. And I find it hilarious because all these randos walk out of their houses and there are fucking dead bodies everywhere. And they go, holy shit, what happened? They're all super fucking mortified that the streets are full of dead bodies, but no one calls the law because this town's a shithole that has no law. But anyway.
Oh dear.
I was just
video game logic.
Queen Kirsten, I don't know if you were here when I was making this. I made an old fashioned. This is 50% Martel Blue Swift, which is a French VSOP cognac finished in bourbon barrels, and 50% Tiny Bear Sailor finished in bourbon barrels. And then with a sugar syrup and some bitters. Holy shit, this is good. This is a really good old fashioned. I'm just saying. So, but the next drink I make, the next drink I make will probably be water.
There you go.
Where's Shieldsy when
alcohol
you need
abuse with water? But the next one is probably going to be Brookie's Pacific Moonshine and something. The story behind it is brilliant. They were friends with an independent beer maker who had all these orders from pubs. And they're like, yeah, okay, here's our next round. And then all the pubs shut because of COVID. And they were like, fuck me, we have all this beer we can't sell. And as I was saying before, their initial plan was, we could distill it and make hand sanitizer. And they were like, let's do that. And then the good folk at Brookie's went, you know what? That's a bullshit idea. Let's make a moonshine out of it. So they just single distilled some beer because spirits start off. And Kirsten might pipe up here and say the real thing. But basically, any spirit, gin, vodka, whiskey, whatever, you start with a ferment. You ferment whether it's grain or sugar or fruit. You ferment it. So the first phase is a beer-like thing, and then you distill it. And so the unaged distillation of that ferment is moonshine, basically. It can be extremely rough, or it can be quite palatable, but the unaged distillate of a fermentation is moonshine, basically. And then if you're being sophisticated, I think you usually do you either do a second distillation or you age it in barrels. And yeah, Kirsten's saying whiskey is beer without hops. Yeah. So you start with a ferment that doesn't involve hops, and then you distill it, and then you age it in barrels. You see things like some vodkas, they're going, this is a super smooth vodka because it's triple distilled or whatever. And so they run it through the distillation process multiple times. But the first stage, fermentation is cider or beer, basically. You ferment fruit or grain or whatever, and you end up with a cider or a beer. But an unaged distillation of that fermentation, we kind of call that moonshine. If you age it or do multiple things, you end up with gins and brandies and vodkas and whiskeys. So, Kirsten, you heard they aged some of that moonshine. I think they maybe aged it a little because it's actually quite smooth. To answer Justin's question earlier, I just drank some of it straight. And it's fruity and it's quite nice. It's not that harsh.
I'll be right back.
Okay, Abigail's got some things to sort out. I can see. Questions were being asked. Abigail needs to sort something out. Chris, what freedom news do you have for us? Is there any freedom that's happening that you need to update us about?
I do have some fantastic freedom news. So,
yeah,
the local Clark County Board of Health meeting happened. Now, the Department of Public Health is advised by the Board of Health. The Board of Health is the county council. None of them are. They're anti-vaxxers, anti-maskers, Trumpians.
Oh shit,
and,
Trumpy.
Okay. All of the 2 hospitals in town went there and pleaded and begged for restrictions, at least rotating restrictions, and all their beds are full. The ERs are full. Guy died of a heart attack the other day waiting for help in the ER. And they said, that's great. How about you?
They said it was great. Okay.
Horse paste. Stop telling people
paste.
about vaccines. Horse paste.
Yeah.
And there you go. Good luck. And then also they're going to go ahead and push through a bill, an ordinance that will ban mask mandates and vaccine mandates, which are done because through the state government and the federal government, in which they can't actually do that because they're so stupid they don't understand that the state government and the federal government are above them.
Oof, Jesus, dude.
So I'm going to speak on that. They have public comment. I'm going to tell them how absolutely moronic they are on the 1st February.
Oh, God damn.
And then good news is you had the freedom to ride on a bus that collapsed on a bridge, and you had the freedom to make a human chain go up because our president, who is such a strong believer in bridge freedom, that he wants weight limit signs removed from bridges for freight to move faster. And so we're going to give you
God, I saw that. Yes.
We're going to give you the freedom to take the weight restriction signs off the bridges. And then you have the freedom to ride them down like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Like the cowboy on the nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can
Slim
do that.
Pickens riding a nuclear bomb.
The bridges are free to collapse, is what we're trying to say.
Jesus.
And another thing
go. Yeah.
Is you have the freedom to get infected with COVID at any time. You are free to do that. And you are definitely free to die from COVID or become disabled from COVID. And your child's not free. They need to go to school, get COVID, and get disabled immediately. like right
Yeah.
now. We will literally come to your house and arrest you and force your kid to get sick.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. Yeah, see, what we've, again, everything is comparatively under control in Australia compared to the US because we went from everyone working towards zero COVID to giving up on that. We have had more deaths in January than in all of 2021.
That's
So
really fucked up.
we've had more deaths in January than
So
all of
that's-
2021. So
that's
yeah,
horrible.
they've basically just gone, we're giving up. And so, Kirsten, you were saying, okay, two things Kirsten was saying. She knows the people who were behind distilling that. And apparently, they're actually aging this and making it special, which is nice. That's something to look forward to. But also, her aunt in South Africa ate ivermectin because they couldn't get medical. Didn't go well. Okay, here's the thing. I'm always bringing up Robert Evans, who does the Behind the Bastards podcast. And he grew up in Texas. And he said, look, this was a thing. There are certain medications which are made for livestock, which are very close to extremely similar medications which are made for humans. And the livestock medication is way fucking cheaper than the human medication. So he knows people in poor communities would buy medication from vets and use it on themselves because they were like, it's probably going to, and that's what ivermectin, we joke and say it's horse paste because it is, but there is a human version of ivermectin, which is an anti-malarial and actually works really well at preventing serious illness from malaria. But the horse paste is not actually designed for humans and absolutely, definitely does not help protect you against COVID. It just doesn't. It isn't necessarily going to hurt you, but some people, there's always someone who has a negative reaction to medications. Some people will definitely have a negative reaction to ivermectin.
The shame is too is most people taking it for COVID or these anti-vaxxer people that are taking it, they're not getting the human version because they can't without a prescription.
Yeah, so they get it from vets, and it A is absolutely not going to help. B might fucking hurt you. Yeah, Kirsten's saying her aunt in South Africa lives on a horse farm. She took so much horse paste she almost died. Yeah, no, it's bad. It's you don't
see it is apple flavored.
That was an upside. Okay, we're doing transcontinental internet high fives, Chris. There we go. That was good. Apple flavored fucking horse paste.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, look, the vaccine doesn't taste like apple.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Now I have a friend, and she's a good and rational person. She had not a hospitalizing, but she had a bad reaction to the vaccine. She's double vaccinated, and she doesn't want to get a booster because she had quite bad reactions to the vaccine. She had both doses and was sick. And she's like, whenever she says on social media, I had a bad medical reaction to the vaccine, people fucking swamp me like I'm an anti-vaxxer. And I go, okay, so I get that sucks. I know you and I trust you, and I trust that you're not talking shit. You had a bad reaction. That's a real thing. And Jesus, how much must it suck to have an adverse health reaction to doing the right thing?
Yeah, right. And so few people too. I mean, unlucky lottery there. Wow.
And that's the thing. I was going like,
that's like a lotto ticket odds. That's nuts.
Yep. I aggressively defend people who have a genuine medical exemption for either vaccination or boosters or whatever, because they get discredited by the shit for brains fucking anti-vaxxers. And it's like, I fucking hate that when you have a genuine medical exemption, there's this veneer of, oh, you an anti-vaxxer? And it's not
they get blown
everyone else's. It's the anti-vaxxers' fault because the anti-vaxxers just fucking suck so much.
Yeah, and that's why it's so sad your country gave up on as close to zero COVID as possible, because people like her can't really be protected from the virus outside of just, trying to control the virus. So it really, really sucks for people like that.
Yeah. Kirsten's getting a booster tomorrow. Good on you.
Good.
My whole household is boosted now. I had mine about a month ago. The offspring, who are between 18 and 25, had their boosters 1 to 2 weeks ago. So
good.
our whole household's boosted now, which is good.
So, like, what happened with COVID and me is, my girlfriend's, she has a prescription for her 4th booster. Welcome back in about a month or so.
Yeah.
But, she has MS, and so her vaccines just don't last long with her.
Yep.
But what happened with COVID is my cousin's family. My cousin has heart failure, congestive heart failure, and he got boosted, and he was forced to work in the school. So what happened? He got COVID. His whole family got COVID. Him, his kids, his wife, and then the pregnant sister-in-law and brother-in-law. And brother-in-law and sister-in-law, of course, were unvaccinated, so they are still sick and they are not doing well. My cousin, because he got his booster, was okay after like about 2 weeks. He was okay, but it still hit him hard. And his doctor is very, very concerned that he's working in a school, so he could be reinfected, and next time it may mess up. And they don't really know if it's affected his heart yet or not. They're very worried about that. And thank God the kids are just old enough to have their vaccines. Thank God they are okay, but they were really sick. They're worried because they want to. They're just worried about the kids. They don't want them to have issues, so they're looking out for any symptoms of asthma or anything like that. But and then my friend's mom, she just got her lung capacity back up to 100% after getting COVID in April of 2020. Yeah. So it took her almost 2 years to recover. And that's just her lungs, and it's terrible. No. And then
fucking long COVID is no fucking joke.
Yeah,
you get fully half the people who get COVID have complications
vaccinated or not
last months to years.
Yeah, can have really bad, and it sucks too. And the crazy thing now is like my like every other person that I know is being exposed or getting COVID right now, and it's scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
sorry, my smile was not at your
no,
stories.
I'm sure.
Kirsten in the chat, dumb sister-in-law had a sore arm and a headache, carried on like she genuinely. Yeah, but I was showing on the streams. I had like a red mark on my arm for a week or more.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was given out to a lot of people. A lot of people were like, "Fine, I got the goddamn thing," right? And they were the ones that had sore arms. Yeah. And then I noticed that people that got a Moderna booster to that shot they all got sick, but like a fever for a day or two, nothing crazy. But
I had 2 AstraZeneca and a Moderna booster, and the Moderna booster was a very noticeable reaction.
The Moderna one seems to be a really, really potent one. I got 3 Pfizers, so I'm all Pfizered up, and I didn't have any reaction to any of them.
Your team Pfizer. I love Kirsten saying her dumb sister-in-law unfriended her on Facebook, which makes Kirsten sad simply because the sister-in-law won't see Kirsten post about a booster tomorrow, which is I love that.
Wah, wah.
It's the same too, because like this is like out of the past 5 weeks, Mom has had 1 day weekends for 4 of them. Because another one of the workers has COVID, and they're not getting it at work; they're bringing it in. And it's just like,
oh shit,
like last week, what was it like? She said, one of the coworkers they didn't feel very well, so they ended up going home. Oh, they just felt a little sick. Oh, they got Rona. We don't know if they have Rona, Chris. Calm down. Like, they got Rona. Everyone's got
Rona. Yeah.
And sure enough,
my workplace, the vast majority. As a government department, vast majority been working from home since March, April 2020. So I will soon come up on my 2-year anniversary of working from home, which is fucking amazing. Abigail and I were talking about this today. But we were getting reports. Shit has started to get out of control here with the Omicron variant. people they ask people to report if you're testing positive. It is essentially doubling every 2 weeks. People from the workplace going, yeah, I've tested positive. It started off, 50 people have reported they tested positive. 2 weeks later, it's 100. 2 weeks later, it's 200. And it's just like, it just keeps going. It's like doubling every 2 weeks.
What's crazy here is, and I mean, it's nuts. This Omicron variant is so dominant, it's beating out the common flu. The flu can't get people sick because they have Omicron, so they're staying home.
Yeah,
it's out competing that, and now this new subvariant, which is already everywhere. It's the same thing. It's just more contagious.
Yeah,
it just infects you faster. So it's just it's so annoying. It is.
I'm
shocking.
I'm loving Kirsten's sass to her unvaxxed mother-in-law.
Kirsten is sassing the weird family member. And yes, you did tell us before.
Funny story. Well, not funny. It's not funny, but there were like 3 state troopers in my state who refused to get vaccinated, and we were one of the very few states that put a vaccine mandate in, because the number one killer of cops this year is not Antifa or anti-fascist, like they like to say. No, it's COVID. And and the number one show they watch is Fox News, and Fox News says, COVID's not real. Anyway,
but that happened with cops and border force in the US. There were a few reports like, this many people died in the line of duty,
but it was
all of them died from COVID, but technically they died on the job, so they died in the line of duty.
This guy didn't die on the job. So he's like, this is my last call on the radio after 20 years. I'm little man, and I couldn't just get a shot to shut up and keep my job. I had to be a little B-word about it.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm calling off after 20 years, and fuck Jay Inslee, and dropped the microphone. And then what's the right word? I am not happy to report that he has died of COVID-19.
It's like every time someone posts on social media that some anti-vax fuckwit died from COVID, I always just post it and go, that's a damn shame. If there's only something we could have done to prevent.
There's only something.
Only some sort of medication that could have prevented this.
The best response to that tweet was someone posted a picture of a coffin, and they said, "Uh-oh, someone did a serious fucky wucky. Now it's time to go inside the forever box."
The forever box.
And so I really like the ideal of like a coffin being called a forever box.
Yeah, honestly, I do like that.
My fear of death went down 10% just hearing it called forever box. I'm like, well,
the forever box.
Forever box. I do like that. That is pretty good.
Forever. That sounds fun,
That is pretty good. I do like that.
That poor guy. He was manipulated and then killed.
I was really depressed. Yeah, I was really depressed to find out Meatloaf was an anti-vaxxer.
Oh my God!
He died from COVID complications, and he's like, "Man, I'm not going to be controlled. You are going to die, though."
So, how many hours are we into this stream?
We are 3 hours in.
3 hours. Well, so an actionable threat. Not really.
I've already determined I'm going to drink some of this, so we're still going.
Threats, but I was complaining about my county council being a bunch of shitheads. If this virus keeps mutating and they keep not getting the shot, how long are they going to be the county council? Just a thought. Ugh. Especially now, because like
who are you talking about?
My local county council. I explained it when you were gone.
Oh, okay. Yep.
They're super anti-vaxxers, and the hospitals are turning people away at the ER because they're too full. And so that means if you have a car crash and you can't get a bed, you die. Now, that's because of COVID, but it won't be because of COVID, but it is. But anyway, they don't understand. They don't seem to care. So, like, if they keep not wanting to take the vaccine, if they get sick in the next month, well, they're not going to get medical treatment, are they?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well,
So
people often say the only YouTube stuff I'm sort of seriously trying to grow at the moment is my cocktail channel. They go, do you want to make a living off YouTube? And it's like, I've got a day job, okay? My goal for a cocktail channel is people send me free shit. And again,
such a noble goal.
unpaid for unsponsored. If Fever Tree ever want to sponsor me, their spiced orange ginger ale is freaking amazing.
Let's just say your friends in the liquor industry may be able to one day help you out with that. You never know.
Yeah, no, I would love to be
Here's
seen
a free
as
bottle. Make a video.
So I'm just going to have.
Oh God, time for the moonshine. Oh Jesus, here we go.
And the moonshine.
Yeah.
Because I just decided they would go very well together.
Somebody I knew in the 70s ran moonshine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they had a tricked out. God, what was it? It was a Ford Pinto.
Pinto.
Yeah, Ford Pinto tricked out. The ones that if you rear end them, they'd explode.
I was about to say, that were the cars that exploded.
He had a really tricked out one, and he had all these secret compartments and stuff. And the reason why he chose it was because he swapped the engine, and he just like there's that one movie Driver where like he's like in like this souped up like Impala because it looks like every other car, and that's why he did it. And so anytime he went to Border Patrol, the Border Patrol agents were like, "Isn't that thing a fire hazard?" All right. And they let him through, making fun of his car. But yet the reason he had that car is he swapped the engine so that way if any cops got wise to him, he'd just be gone.
Yeah. I do. I feel like I want to rewatch that movie, Driver. That dude.
Film.
What? Oh God, what's the guy's name again?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. He was like the it guy for a couple of years, but I feel like
he's still the it guy.
He's my it guy. Ryan Gosling is amazing. I feel like he hasn't made a movie for a couple of years though.
Maybe he has. Maybe he's just been doing indie films.
But I thought Driver was good because it was that classic thing where someone had their ego enough in control. He says there's very little dialogue. He doesn't say much in the movie. It's just about him being there.
He was in La La Land.
Yeah, that one scene where he's in the elevator with the woman and a child who's in his apartment building, who he's taken a shine to, and there's a guy who he knows is Hitman because this woman's husband who's come out of jail is a fuck up and some big crimps trying to get him. And there's a guy in the elevator with him, and Ryan Gosling's character knows this guy is going to do some evil.
Yeah.
And he beats him to death in the elevator. And the woman and the child are going, oh, what the fuck? And he's just being pragmatic. It's like, no, this is a bad guy. He was going to like fucking kill you.
He was in an indie film the year he did Blade Runner 2049. And then now he's doing, he did First Man, which was a flop. It was a Neil Armstrong film. He played Neil Armstrong. And then now there's another film in post-production called The Gray Man. So he's been making movies.
He's taking his time. Again, people write.
Well, I mean, the last movie he made was a flop, though, and then the pandemic. Yeah. So he's definitely trying. And then
people rightly mocked La La Land because it's like a white guy white-splaining jazz, and but I thought it was fun. It was a musical.
It's called La La Land, and it's talking about Los Angeles. It's not going to be a movie about realistic Los Angeles if it's called La La Land.
And it stole the Oscar from a legitimately good movie.
Oh Christ, that was hilarious!
Every year, though, doesn't it? Though?
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan Gosling was in a TV movie in 2019 called My Favorite Shapes by Julio Torres. I'm mispronouncing that. I know.
I kind of think Ryan Gosling has now decided, fuck anyone's expectations. I will just do what I want or not do anything if that's what I want to.
Well, yeah, he was with Emma Stone in La La Land, wasn't he?
Yeah, Emma Stone was his co-star in.
Oh, my girlfriend loves Emma Stone. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Emma
I have
Stone's
to keep
awesome.
her away from Emma Stone. If her and Emma Stone were in the same room, I'm a single man. We love.
Nice. But again,
Don't worry, I'll run interference for you, and I'll grab Emma Stone on your
fair.
behalf, on your girlfriend's behalf.
I'm not sure if
Don't
it was
worry.
Ryan Gosling's
Don't worry.
first feature, but an early film he did was called Lars and the Real Girl, where he actually plays a slightly overweight, quite autistic nerd who doesn't really equate well, and he orders one of those real dolls, sex dolls, and he imparts a really human personality onto the doll, and it's kind of non-sexual. He has an emotional relationship with the doll, and it's a really interesting thing about his friends and his community and how they either support him or don't. And it's like, because we like you, dude, and we know you have a problem with people, and so you are able to actually in your head have a relationship with an inanimate doll. And which is why the movie's called Lars and the Real Girl, not Lars and the Fake Girl. And it's really good. And he's a slightly overweight autistic nerd in this movie. And because every movie after that, he's like super sexy He-Man, and it's like, this is trippy because in this he's not that.
Another movie where he's not super sexy in it is The Ides of March, which is a really cool political thriller where he has to cover something up for George Clooney, who's running for president.
I think he's pretty sexy in Ides of March.
I mean, that's just him looking himself, but that's not, you know what I mean? He's just a guy trying to get something done in that film.
Yeah, no, he's just a guy. Yeah,
it's not like, you know, his attraction is like, you know, like we're like Driver, you know, the girl finds him attractive, so that's why all that happens.
Yeah. And there's a super fucking weird one he did called Only God Forgives, where it's like he's part of a crime family, and he's somewhere in Southeast Asia, and his brother is a fucking piece of shit who gets killed essentially being a piece of shit, and his mum is coming in as this crime matriarch, like, you have to avenge your brother. But he's kind of like, only reason my brother's dead is he was a fucking piece of shit. And it's a very interesting and weird and surreal and dreamlike movie. Again, it's not necessarily a great thing, but if you want to watch a kind of weird, trippy movie, watch Ryan Gosling in Only God Forgives. Also, it's got some very nasty, brutal violence in it. So if you don't like nasty, brutal violence, don't watch it.
Really know who Ryan Gosling is. Like, I know who he is, what he looks like.
Yeah.
But who is he as a person?
He's pretty private.
That's a big
pretty quiet,
pretty big fucking question.
Like, I know who George Clooney is. I know who, like Ryan Reynolds is. I know who, like, there's a lot of celebrities who know who they are. That they're very out there. But who the fuck is Ryan Gosling?
Yeah,
you know?
he's quiet.
Like, he's very private.
Yeah.
I never thought of that, but you hit the nail on the head. He doesn't have a public persona.
No,
you don't see
of Spider-Man, the first one, Tobey Maguire. He's really private. You know? He really hides.
Yeah.
So yeah,
which is fair enough.
Yeah,
not everyone.
He finally did an interview.
Their private life.
He finally did an interview recently, post the new Spider-Man movie, which I fucking love. And I want to watch it again.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm waiting for it to come out
good.
on Blu-ray. I would love to talk about that movie. That movie is so, oh my god, amazing! I cried so many times in that movie.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
I loved the movie. I didn't like the ending.
It was impossible.
The ending was really sad.
Don't do any spoilers. It was impossible to avoid the big spoilers, the multiverse spoilers.
Yeah.
It was impossible to avoid that.
Well, I mean, it's Doctor Strange, so come on, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Spider-Man and multiverse, there is another animated Into the Multiverse
Yes.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
movie. I'm looking Miles Morales. I really enjoyed that one, and what I want, and also that, and to a lesser extent, the Disney Plus series Marvel's What If. I want them to do more animated stuff because fucking Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. could do Iron Man and Captain America forever because it's animated.
Yeah.
So like about the Marvel doing more animated things, I can confirm they are doing that because they are hiring people for that at Disney. Because I was applying.
No. Oh yeah, Abigail. I don't know if you saw Chris. He shared with me, and he mentioned it on the thing. He actually saw an ad for executive video producer for Star Trek, and he's like, as soon as he saw it, he sent it to me and said, "Speaking of Star Trek."
I've been hard
really
to work all over the West Coast.
One of our catchphrases. Speaking of Star Trek.
Yeah.
It was just like it was for a specific producer job, and I'm technically I'm not a producer. That's not what I do.
Yeah,
I'm more of camera, director, editor kind of guy. I'm not a producer.
But yes, there's going to be another Spider-Verse movie, I think, in 2022 this year. And it's fun. It's Gwen.
I'm pretty sure that when it comes to Spider-Man stuff, live action, I'm because what was that? The weird, the like Jared Leto vampire dude that no one's gonna watch because it's weird.
Morbius
movie. There was there's a picture of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man on the one of the alleyways. And I'm pretty sure after the multiverse film did so really good recently, I think then the next thing will be his third movie, and then we'll see what happens with if Tom does something after this, and then you know, hopefully they mention Toby somehow one more time and give him a nice little goodbye letter. But if not, you know, oh well.
Yeah, because after the Spider-Man movie, the next big Marvel movie is Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness,
which I'm really looking forward to.
I've got a soft spot for Benedict Cumberbatch.
I like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Speaking of Benedict Cumberbatch, I found it difficult, but I did find a copy of a mini drama documentary he made with the BBC called Dunkirk in 2004. Which is far superior, not in filmmaking terms, but in actually capturing what Dunkirk was
storytelling.
Like. It's much better than Nolan's film because Nolan is like, here's 3 planes, here's 1 boat.
Yeah, he's like 200 people.
It's like Nolan. It's the modern age. Like you put some CG guys in there. It's not that big of a deal. But anyway, that film.
Nolan's a stylist.
That one, Benedict Cumberbatch is like he's like running through Dunkirk and like whole buildings are erupting around him as the Luftwaffe is dropping bombs down and people are, you know, it's a lot better. He's great in that little series.
What's it called?
It's just called Dunkirk 2004 BBC.
Yeah,
I found it on the Roku channel in the States for free, but it's good. It's 3 episodes, and it's really.
Might be able to find it on YouTube or something.
Oh, it's a mini series. Okay,
Yep, it's really good. They have some nice establishing shots of the beach with like it properly filled. It's really good. Yeah. Nolan did something cool because he actually he got all the real stuff. But if he just would have augmented it and not been so stubborn with some extra assets, it really could have elevated it. But shame.
Okay, let's have a fucking Nolan talk because I need to rewatch Tenet. Abigail, did you watch Tenet?
I've watched Tenet a couple of times.
I couldn't.
I've only watched it.
You
once,
have to watch it.
Liked it.
I don't know.
I've liked it too. I have a copy of it.
It's the same thing as his first movie, Memento.
Memento was so good.
Oh
my god! Now you bring that up. I want to rewatch Memento.
The theatrical release was just a shit show.
Look, Tenet was nothing like Memento. Memento was good, but had a different premise as Tenet.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed. He just went for some original high concept fucked up shit in Tenet.
Tenet uses there's a theory. It's not even a theory. It's it's a hypothesis. It's been proven not
Hypothesis,
to. Yeah, it's been proven not to be true, but it's interesting to think about. It's called the one electron universe, and it states that there's only one electron in the entire universe, and it
And we
goes
have to
forward
share
in
it.
time, and then it comes back in time, and when it comes backwards in time, it's an anti-electron, it's a positron, and then it comes forward in time again, and then it looks like a separate electron, and it's constantly coming forward and back, forward and back, forward and back in time, and each time it's like a positron, electron, positron, electron, and that's the premise of Tenet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the stuff like when the dude is this woman scientist is showing you stuff, and they go like, we think someone from the future is sending this back to us in the hope that we understand what it means, and it's just like, we think there's something terrible that we have to stop from happening. And it's like,
it's just one dude.
I need to rewatch Tenet. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch it. My first exposure to Tenet, I was in the cinema watching something else. You know, when you see trailers for films, they did that Moscow theater scene, the entire thing. And there was no preamble. There was no explanation. You're just sitting there thinking you're seeing a movie trailer, and you got 5 minutes of this movie, and you're sitting there going, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
Because it's all that mad shit where it seems like, we're inserting ourselves, but there's the weird reverse time shit happening in, and you're sitting there watching this, and there was no explanation.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. It was confusing. So I didn't like it, so I didn't do the movie. But that was just for me.
I first saw the movie in a cinema with one other person in the entire cinema. It was Remember when we had that lockdown reprieve?
Yeah.
Sometime in 2020 at the end of
Yep.
You guys were lucky too, because you kept your case number so low that you were able to pop in real quick and see a movie.
Yeah. So I watched it then, and then I watched it at home, and then I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about it, and like I get it. I like what's his face? Cedric Diggory's character.
Robert
just
Pattinson
blew my mind.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's tons of stuff that I have still missed.
Oh yeah,
because you know Nolan's just got like he's the master of continuity.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, the it's such a. I liked it a lot. I liked that movie.
I've got to watch it again. Because I really enjoyed it. I need to watch it again. It's kind of like what's the one with Matthew McConaughey, the Interstellar.
Interstellar! Oh, I love that movie.
That was
that bit where Matthew McConaughey's character has, in Earth terms, he's been out doing his shit for 60
Rogue
years.
Matt Damon.
For him, it's a couple weeks, but it's 60 years.
Yeah, he's gone.
And there's a thing with his daughter when she was a little girl. She realized there was a code in the way the books were moving on her shelf, and her dad, Matthew McConaughey, said, "That's crazy." But when he gets to that mad place where
the Tesseract
all around him,
when he's going
and
through,
he can manipulate it, and he's saying to her, "Don't go. Tell him to not
stay.
Go." And stay. And then you go, that tracks back to when the daughter ran out to him crying, saying "stay," and he's just going, my heart is breaking at the moment. My heart is breaking because this guy's gone out and he's gone through all this terrible shit, and there's this moment where he thinks it's for no reason. He thinks, I failed.
And then he realizes
the message back to his daughter saying, "Don't go." And so she's running to her dad saying, and she's like, this is heartbreaking. This is awful. And that is just a beautiful thing of time being relative, and it's
What
just,
was really interesting to me in that film is that, they always say currently the only way to time travel is space travel, because you can.
Well, that's true. The only way to travel through
cool.
time at the moment,
at the moment,
to travel
is linear.
backwards in time is via wormhole.
So that's super cool. And then the other thing that after I watched the movie a second time, I'm like, wait a minute, that lady ends up saving the day anyway. So I mean,
you
actually have to go.
All the little bits in Interstellar, like when they
Haley
go down
Cooper.
to that planet and leave one guy on their thing, and it's they thought those was mountains and it was waves that were moving. And when they lose
tides. They were tides.
We may have only lost him a couple seconds ago, but it's irreversible. He's fucking gone. And they get back to their ship. The guy has been alone for years. They feel
for
like
decades.
they've been gone for a couple of hours. And he's just been by him and just like, this is fucked. This is so fucked.
That's time dilation. That's
time dilation.
And it's like, if they didn't go to that one, but everything else happened in the movie the same, but they just didn't go to that one planet. He would have made it back to his daughter before she died.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, I have to make a phone call. I'll just be a second.
Go ahead and do that, Abigail.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, speaking of Nolan films, the Batman films, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's go Batman.
So, like, I just accepted Ben Affleck finally because I liked his performance in Justice League. The Snyder.
I thought Ben Affleck was good. Honestly.
I thought he was good. I started to really like him. I could accept him, but now they got Vampire Kid doing it, and I'm like,
Well, okay, I am ready to cut
again
a huge amount of slack. Let's see what he does.
It never ends with these fucking Batman movies.
But again, I think it works. I think it's like every time it's a reinterpretation. It's the basic thing. Batman is our desire to right wrongs.
The Nolan films were so good that in Snyder's movies, he couldn't even get a movie because they'd already done it. Like, it's like he's only a side character in all those films.
Yeah.
He can never be the main character because you cannot do better than Nolan's films. You can't. There's just no way. I mean, maybe in like 20 years or 30 years, but like not like 3 years later or 5 years later. It's just not. It's
a challenge. It's a challenge, definitely.
Like just
FRM LSAT on Twitch just jumped in to hear us talking about time dilation. We were talking about Christopher. We are in a Christopher Nolan riff at the moment. We're just riffing Christopher Nolan movies. We were talking other ones. Now we've got onto Batman. This is why every time a new movie is announced and actor X is cast in a role and people go, oh, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be so. My God, people were so fucking pissed off at the idea of our man being the Joker.
Heath Ledger.
Oh, God, my brain stopped working because I've drunk too much alcohol. Heath Ledger, who was a fucking brilliant actor. But people were very upset at the idea of Heath Ledger being Joker. Not least, they thought he was too young. But
that's definitely an ageless character, the way he portrayed it.
But you look, Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker is
it's the best.
Fucking mind-blowing.
It's the best since Nicholson.
FRM LSAT thinks Batman needs a break. I think that's kind of what we're saying, but it's about
you
money.
You can make a Batman movie in like 5 years. Just like people don't want to watch it again. So that's what I think. It doesn't matter whether this movie's good or bad. It's like it's too soon, and that's what happened.
I don't know. I'll wait and see. We'll see.
And not just with Nolan's film, but also because of the Snyderverse just ending. So like this,
I don't know. I don't hate Snyder's stuff.
But the same thing happened with what was it? The Amazing Spider-Man, Part of the reason why nobody saw the Amazing Spider-Man films was because Tobey Maguire just finished his movies just like 3 years earlier.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man 4 was canceled in like 2012, like 2010. And then the Amazing Spider-Man film came out like 2 years later. And I was like, who's this guy? What's this?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to happen with this Batman movie. I hope it's a good
Possibly.
film.
Very possibly.
But
Very possibly.
I'm gonna see it at home.
Yeah. LSAT, what portrayal of the Joker are you worried about? Because I think Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker
He was really good.
Was mind-blowing. It was phenomenal. And it's like, because the first time he says, "How did I get these scars?" And it's like, they're humanizing the Joker because he's talking about his traumatic life and why he has those scars on his face and whatnot. And you go, wow, I'm empathizing with this guy. And then a little while later, he says to a different person, "How did I get these scars?"
And it's totally
different. Tells a completely different story. And it's like, he's fucking lying. When he says this shit, he is lying.
Favorite thing he did in those movies was put the smoke grenade in the mobster banker's mouth.
I literally love everything.
He was in Prison Break, and he's just such a badass. And he's got that shotgun, and they're coming down the lobby, and he's like, boom, boom. And then in the end, and then after all that awesome kick-ass performance and him being a badass, it ends with him going, oh God, with the smoke grenade in his mouth. He just tears down this ultimate badass in like 5 steps.
Yeah. I love everything about Heath Ledger's Joker.
And then
every moment
Mark Hamill, great Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill doing animated Joker. Mark Hamill is a great Joker.
Jared Leto was also a very decent Joker.
Jared Leto had potential, but the movies were bad. And Jared Leto,
you're right. He did get bad movies. That's for sure.
Yeah.
My son has a lady friend over. Well, teenage girl over.
Okay.
And
Dr. Abigail managing teenage sexy times. Okay, good.
She's only here for an hour, so I'm told.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she just lives around the corner.
I mean, that's not
and he never shuts his door. Door's closed at the moment. So teenagers, hey.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, dear.
Good luck, kiddo. God knows we all
need Yeah, I know, right?
Jesus. Human interaction.
So we're still talking about Nolan movies?
Yeah. We're on to Batman. A Mega Leap saying disappearing pencil trick. Again, I freaking love that when the Joker just walked in on one of the different crime bosses going, and he's just like, I've got a plan. And when someone sends a heavy at him, goes, I'm going to show you a magic trick. I'm going to make this pencil disappear.
Have you heard
he grabs the guy's head and goes, bam!
Have you heard the fan theory that Heath Ledger's Joker is actually ex-military?
Oh, no, I haven't, but I don't need any fan theories. Heath Ledger's Joker exists in a bubble. And the way they did it, like, his clothes are all handmade. We don't know. And the fact that he
hand-tailored,
he made up stories. He talked to different people and said, do you know how I got these scars?
Yeah.
Made up different stories because he was always messing with people. So
and even when he went to Harvey Dent's in the bed, and Harvey Dent, and again, I've seen some memes that are hilarious. Like, he's dressed in a nurse uniform and he's wearing a mask, and it's obviously the Joker. And he leans over him and goes, how are you doing? And then he pulls the mask off, and Harvey Dent goes, oh my God, this is the Joker. And you go, who the fuck did you think it was?
Well, he's all fucked up on drugs.
He was all fucked up from having half his face burnt off.
He did have half his face burnt off. But again, Joker does this thing where he's going, I'm chaos, dude. And he does have
He's
that
an
memorable
anarchist.
line
Yeah,
where
he goes
"Do
hard
I
in.
look like someone who has a plan?" And
Yeah.
But you know
but
what?
he gives Harvey Dent a gun, and that's when he gives Harvey Dent the idea of tossing a coin. And he's
that's
saying,
stupid.
"Toss it. If it's heads, kill me." But when you look at it, Joker has his thumb behind the hammer of the gun. So if Harvey Dent was to choose to shoot him, he would actually block the hammer on the gun with his thumb. It's a really subtle thing that you don't necessarily notice. But the way Joker is holding the gun, he's telling Harvey Dent, you have complete control over what happens next. Toss a coin and see. And that's how he gets Harvey Dent into the mindset. Just toss a coin for every decision. But you look, and Joker has his thumb inside the hammer of the gun. So if Harvey Dent pulled the trigger, it wouldn't have fired. Because Joker doesn't want to die. He tells people he wants to die, but he actually doesn't want to die.
It depends, on the situation. Guns can go off in that situation either way, but that's the point. The question was the gun loaded? We never know. But what I do find interesting is that I firmly believe what he says in that speech he gives to Harvey Dent. I'm an agent of chaos, and this is all I care about. It's creating more chaos. And
that's what he does. Like when he sets fire to the pile of money.
I just care about chaos.
Yeah. This one. Oh, wrong cover. That's the back. This is the front. I've had a couple of drinks.
If you couldn't tell.
Harleen. This is an origin story for Harley Quinn. And there are a couple of. This is the most recent one. Is done by a guy.
Saddest character.
Sajik. This fucking rocks.
Tragic.
Because there's a great bit in here. I'll try and find it. So it's the psychiatrist, Dr. Harleen Quinn, who is consulting in Arkham Asylum with the Joker. And at one point, District Attorney Harvey Dent comes to her and says, "Stop seeing Joker." And there's a little thing that when she's rejecting Harvey Dent, because Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face, and there's a line where she goes, "Within a month, we would both be murderers." And it's like, because the psychiatrist Harleen Quinn becomes Harley Quinn, and Harvey Dent becomes Two-Face, and it's both because of the Joker, and Joker turns them both into murderers, and it's it's just great.
I always
Harvey
felt
Dent
bad
comes
for
to her and says, "Stop looking after Joker," and Harleen says, I can save him." And then this little thing says, "Within a month, we would both be murderers." And it was just like, oh shit.
I always feel for Harley Quinn because her origin story always tingers on abuse from the Joker, and it's just like it's so sad.
And honestly, the stuff in Suicide Squad with Jared Leto as the Joker and whatnot, it's not bad. It's like that's a Harley Quinn origin story. It's not bad.
It's just not a good movie,
but it's not great either. So.
It's like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's all these good scenes in a movie that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, I think I've seen a meme that it's like, Toby is the best Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield is the best Peter Parker, and our new guy is the one who's best at balancing both of them. Tom is the best at doing both. And it's a point of view. It's a point of view. And this, some people regard this as sacrilege. I think the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies are better than the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
So it depends because Andrew Garfield has really great performances in both those movies, but the second movie is just a really badly written movie.
Oh my god! And there are a few things where there are a bunch of these very commercial movies where great performance, bad movie.
Yeah, great scenes, several great, because like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is so close to being a good movie. But because the studio was like, we don't like this storyline, we don't like that storyline, fuck off. And they're like, okay, then here's half a movie that just keeps not making sense. But And it's a shame. And the first one is really good too.
Yeah.
You know, with
But
Tom Spider-Man, the first movie for Tom Holland,
Yeah.
actually, I didn't believe him as Spider-Man because I don't know, I just didn't see
Yeah.
it. And then, so I didn't see him as Spider-Man at all until like really the third movie. But the thing that I found really the thing that really confused me, and this is just the whole Marvel universe in general. It's, you know, they have what the snap, which is a universal, you know, apocalypse.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, Spider-Man: Homecoming, within 5 years, they've turned everything around. Everything's hunky fucking dory, and they're going on a European vacation because airlines are back up and running. Capitalism is alive and well. What?
Except that
Yep.
it's not. There's still, like you see in
Yeah, and then
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You see refugees from people who, people who are
right. But it's just
like
it's so annoying because, like, depending on the movie or the show, they either care about it or don't.
Yeah. I do love Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it's like, it's almost like the Black Plague. The Black Plague killed half of Europe, which must have been impossible to understand trauma. But the centuries after the Black Plague were a golden age.
But the issue with this one is they bring everybody back.
Yeah, and that's in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There's this transition period. Half the world is gone, which is unbelievably traumatic. But then it's like, for people who were disadvantaged, they move into like a rewarding part of society. And it's all great. And so everyone coming back, for the marginalized people,
it's still pretty chaotic.
Even back was actually bad.
Yeah,
because it's like, well, half the houses
once
were empty and we just moved into them.
Yeah, everybody coming back all at once was also like really, really chaotic because there's a scene in a hospital. I don't know what show it's from, where all of a sudden all the people just start popping back and it's just pure chaos.
Oh, that was from WandaVision.
Yeah, and there's and that's one scene, right? And it's just like, this is a gold mine. This is a gold mine of cinematic, stories that you could tell just in this. But yet, depending on the Marvel movie or the Marvel TV show, everything's fine. Everything's terrible.
Yeah. But I think both WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV series did a good job of going, not only was the Thanos snap traumatic, the return, the Infinity War thing of reversing the snap, that was also traumatic because years had passed.
I have to disagree with you on that, Chris, because different depending on what you're watching, it shows a different perspective on the outcome of what happened after the snap. And if you were set up before, like it's any natural disaster, if you're rich, then you're going to be looked after. And the different shows show a different perspective on it. And so a show like Falcon and the Winter Soldier shows those disaffected by it and those put out by it and those who are refugees from it. And other shows, other movies and shows show people who are just getting back to their lives because they're well off and they have it in their means to just get back to normal. And life is hunky-dory. And they're literally not affected by it.
But it's just like, it just, to me, it was,
but it's still there. It's still there.
When I watched the first Spider-Man movie, I had to I was like 5 minutes. I just had to turn off my brain because I'm like, I'm not understanding how everything is okay. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna watch this film and enjoy the Spider-Man movie and forget about it.
Yeah, definitely switch off your brain. So, but also, okay, I'm now going to go into the other mythology, Star Wars and the most recent saga trilogy,
It's fine.
Force Awakens, whatever the middle one was called,
Ugh.
and Rise of Skywalker. Force Awakens was good. My personal feeling is the middle one was the best. Rise of Skywalker was terrible and stupid and made no sense.
Yeah,
But
objectively a bad movie.
what Last Jedi? The middle one was Last Jedi, which I personally think is fucking brilliant. I love it. It's flawed, like the whole thing with the casino planet and whatnot. It's like, okay, that honestly didn't quite work, but they were trying to establish
Good
a
night,
very important
Kirsten.
thing. Kirsten's saying good night to the nerds. Thank you. Love
Good
you
night.
too. That whole casino planet thing didn't quite
Canto
work.
Bite.
Canto was, but it was trying to establish an incredibly important thing that really needed to be established in the Star Wars universe. It's like, okay, we've been focused on Empire versus Rebellion, First Order versus Resistance. There is always going to be people outside of that, the ruling class, the arms traders, who are making money no matter what. And that's what the whole Canto Bite thing was.
And also the little people.
Yes.
And the underclass and the
and the fact that they abandoned that for the third movie, The Rise of Skywalker, is a
they
fucking
abandon
crime.
a lot for the third
that's
movie.
A fucking crime that they abandoned all the stuff that was raised in the Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's interesting
crime.
because Disney was like, thanks, we're gonna go ahead and thanks for that treatment. We'll go ahead and make it. No, we're not. And then and after the second movie, they're like, so George, like, we're gonna probably do a little bit of that treatment now. Thanks. And then the fans like,
and it was.
Why didn't you just do that the whole fucking time? Why did you change it? What was the point?
It was a terrible thing that they didn't have a plan for that.
It was a terrible thing. They didn't just take George's treatment and make it. Like
they didn't have a plan for that trilogy.
George never wanted to make the sequels.
No, he didn't. He wanted somebody else.
He was never go.
He always
he never wanted them made.
He fucking lied when he said he never referenced a third trilogy, because I'm old enough to remember when he made Return of the Jedi and called it episode 5 rather than episode 2. He said in multiple interviews, I have a vision for a prequel trilogy and a sequel trilogy. This is going to be a trilogy, and I have a view for a prequel trilogy and a sequel. And later on, he denied he ever said it. He was like, fuck you, dude. I was a hardcore nerd.
There's a treatment that he made, and he sold that to Disney, and they looked at it, and they were like, this is really good. Let's fuck it up. And then they're like, oh, shit, you should probably go back to that treatment.
Well, I mean,
things out of it. And then they
he only sold everything to Disney because of all the hate he was receiving from the prequels.
Exactly.
And he was just so tired.
$1 billion that Disney gave him.
And the big truckload of money, yeah.
Like they literally just backed up the biggest truck you've ever seen that was full of cash, and
he regrets it now. He does.
Yeah, he definitely regrets it because he had a treatment and they didn't use it, and it's like
of what they did to it.
Why?
But I think the prequels were great.
I like the prequels.
I love the prequels,
and I love the original ones. And
I know you don't like the prequels, but like
I like the prequels.
I think the prequels are really good.
Episode 3 is really good, but
I
like episode 1,
the prequels.
Episode 1 and episode 3. Episode 2 is kind of a. But
it's a middle movie.
Episode 1 and 3 are just good.
And the
They're
sequels,
just really good.
The sequels, I don't mind them. They're fine. They're fine for me. Like I get it.
I think The Force Awakens is very good.
I
think The Last Jedi is fucking incredible. I think
The
Rise of
last movie is
Skywalker
not
is
a good
fucking
movie.
embarrassing.
Rise of
but
Skywalker can
I
kiss
do
my
like-
ass.
Like literally, Rey kills the reincarnation of the Emperor was stupid, but you maybe could have got away with it. Rey
Well,
literally kills. Rey kills the Emperor in anger, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? All you're saying is Rey is Sith now. If she kills the Emperor in anger, she is by definition Sith. What? It's like, how are you abandoning the core thing of Star Wars here?
I mean, they brought all the like Jedi back to be like, let's do it together, we'll do it. So they did that part. So I guess it's okay because she had all the generations of Jedi helping her. But
But she kills the Emperor in anger, and it's like, no, by definition, that makes you a fucking Sith. What the fuck?
And
but
look, you can tear the movie apart. It's look, and you just pull at one thread, and the whole thing comes apart as
yeah,
well. It's
so like
it's so easy to pick apart. It's
the
comical.
things I like about the Rise of Skywalker is I like they brought back the same actor.
Yeah.
I thoroughly like that. He's
Yeah.
great as the Emperor, first off. Secondly, technically, he's in almost every single Star Wars movie except 2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's I really like that. So it's like, you know, I know it's not a good movie, but
Hand 2?
uh,
You mean
was it
Empire
one,
Strikes
so-
Back.
one of the prequels he's not in,
Oh,
right?
that's
'Cause
he's in all the prequels.
He's in all the prequels. And then is he not in episode
He's in it. He's in episode. He's not in episode 4.
I believe that's the
New
only
Hope?
one he's not in.
He's in Empire Strikes Back because
Yeah,
Vader talks to
and
him
then-
on a
and then
hologram.
Yeah,
And then Return of the Jedi. So you know
And he's in
he's
Return of the Jedi.
in almost all the
he's
films.
just not
And-
in. He's not in episode 4. New Hope.
He's referenced, but he's not in it. And then
Yeah.
and then he's also referenced in the previous movies too, because there's references back to the original thing. So he's either talked about or in every single Star Wars movie, which I like a lot because Star Wars was always about this family struggle of like, you know, it's this through line of these these families these generations that changed the whole galaxy. And I him bringing him back was a good ideal, but then they fucked it up.
Look,
it
once
could have been
once
good, but
again-
they fucked it up.
Look, once again, so many people died because men didn't get therapy.
Exactly. 100% true. And another thing I like about that movie is I like the scale of the final battle. I don't know why they had to do it on the planet, whatever, but I do like the scale of the battle. I like all the spaceships
All of a sudden, there's like
and all
a billion spaceships and sky beams and fucking.
I like that size, right? They could have done a better job building that up. They clearly could have, you know.
And they all had Death Star weapons and
it's
whatever, right? But it's a massive battle. It's really fun. It's a cool thing.
I mean, I love it. I love a big battle. I love high stakes, but that was just so ridiculous.
I like the idea of
the
Death Star laser. So I thought that was cool. They flapped on there, and it's just like it just reminds me of like oh god, what is it? It's what's the name? Timothy Dalton. God, it's the sci-fi thing he's in. It's really old-fashioned sci-fi. I can't think of the name of it. I'm gonna Google it. But it's like old
Google it because I don't know what you're talking about.
Sci-fi. We're like, oh, we just slapped a bigger laser on. Oh, it's kind of cool.
The Rocketeer.
Megaleech think it's a Rocketeer.
Megaleech is like always on point with this.
I know,
stuff.
right?
He's like
also
he's
Rocketeer.
Rocket. So Megaleech is like Megaleech is the geek to like the geek of king of geeks as far as he's got all the geeky knowledge. Like I'm the queen of nerds. He's the king of geeks.
Yeah.
Like he's got all the pop culture knowledge.
Flash Gordon.
What's it called?
Flash Gordon? That's not Timothy Dalton.
Jesus. Okay.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton is the bad guy in Flash Gordon. Yeah.
So it reminds me
What,
of
from
like
the 80s?
yeah, it's like a
Yeah, 80s.
yeah, like some crazy ridiculous.
What was he, Ming the Merciless?
No. He's Prince Baron.
Yeah.
So he's a bad guy.
Okay.
It was just like super ridiculous, super old fashioned.
I remember it.
You know, and it's
Flash
that's
Gordon's great.
that's the vibe I got from them putting the death.
Oh, look, yeah. Flash,
on the
you'll save every one of us.
Star Destroyer. That was really cool. And then
look, the thing about the oh, you're welcome, Mega Leech. So the Death Stars almost bankrupted the Empire in canon, and yet and like they had to mine like so much kyber crystal just to build one of them, let alone two, and yet suddenly they can build 1 billion of them.
Or the thing in the
not even with the resources of the Empire. They're just in this one planet.
They made an actual living planet that was like a like how you moving there. But anyway, I thought it was funny. I liked the big battle. That was really cool. And then I like the actor being back for it. I like that they kind of finally gave a bit of a resolution to Rey and what's his face to liking each other. Kylo Ren. Yeah, I'm happy that they kissed because it's just like it's like two movies flirting with each other. Like just get it over with earlier.
I liked that.
Like we're not stupid.
I really liked that.
Yeah,
I thought it was
and I
sweet.
love that it's the power of love and family that brings Kylo Ren back from the dark side.
Yeah,
that's what the movie was about. Just like Darth Vader, the power of love and family brought him back. You know,
it was the bit where Kylo Ren had the apparition of Han come back to him. That was good.
So good.
And because Kylo even says to him, "You're not real. You're kind of just like a manifestation of my subconscious." And he says, "That doesn't matter." And he repeats the line, "I know what I need to do, but I don't know if I can do it." Because that's what he said just before he killed him. And in this one, it's throw his lightsaber away. That was good. But it's like all the other shit. But to me, the thing that keeps coming back to me, in the end, Rey killed the Emperor in anger.
Yeah,
and that
stupid.
Is fundamentally anti-Star Wars. That is Rey becoming Sith. If she kills her enemy in anger, she becomes Sith.
What I raise you is multiple generations of the galaxy and multiple planets and entire republics being absolutely destroyed and genocided by one man, pure evil. You could say he's like the mega Hitler. So I think at a certain
mega
point,
Hitler.
At a certain point, I don't think it matters.
But it does, because that's the central thing with Luke. When the Emperor is going, strike down your father in anger, Luke goes, "This will corrupt me. This is the ultimate corruption." And he turns his lightsaber off and says, "I won't do it." And so the Emperor then uses his power to kill Luke. But Vader goes, "Oh my God, I now see the truth of everything." And the Emperor is a fucking dirtbag. And Darth interposes himself between the Emperor and Luke and throws the Emperor down the reactor.
Darth is a title, not a name.
Sorry, what?
Darth is a title, not a name.
That's true. So Vader. Okay, Vader, Anakin.
Even though Obi-Wan calls him Darth in A New Hope.
Yes.
Yeah, so Darth's a name. Anyway.
So
sorry,
Vader
I'm being
recognizes the truth of what's happening, interposes himself between the Emperor and Luke, and throws the Emperor down a mine shaft.
Oh.
And the literal fucking opposite happens in the Rise of
You're
Skywalker.
100% right.
Rey kills the Emperor in anger. By definition, in the Star Wars universe, that makes Rey Sith. Rey at that point is Sith because she killed the Emperor in anger. And it's just like, how the fuck do people let that happen in the movie? That is so dumb.
Well, you see,
how the fuck did they do that?
You see, you're forgetting that she has the freedom. Freedom. She has the freedom to do whatever she wants.
Okay, sorry,
That
Chris.
film was
sorry, you
produced
put
in
your
America.
freaking
In
glasses
America,
on.
you can kill whoever you want for any goddamn reason. You can get away with it. Kid.
No, yeah, okay, but she has a British accent,
Doesn't matter.
and in Star Wars canon, a British accent is a Coruscant accent, which is not America.
The movie was produced in America, baby. It doesn't fucking movie.
Oh my god! I think, look, honestly, it's midnight here. I think that's a note to answer on. We've been in absolutely fucking awesome, brilliant nerd arguments for the last hour, which is, and we've finished on freedom.
How do we join up this whole Star Wars thing with free will? Like, how do we bookend this whole stream?
Look, I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we can tie up Star Wars and free will.
At the end of the day, nothing is stronger than the power of family and love.
Oh dear.
Well, I don't know. Gravity, the strong nuclear force, electromagnetism.
Gravity's pretty strong.
Love, baby. Not on love.
All right, but I'm going to
long
get
and
to bed.
prosper.
Midnight.
Good night.
We'll be doing a Sunday night stream. See you all then. Night for now. Love you all. Oh my god, I've got the hiccups. Bye for now.
I have to go check on these teenagers.